That's it! Killing you both! Big bang attack!
What's going on, everybody? We have a mic check here. We're good. I can hear me. Can you hear me? Looks like you can hear me. Awesome. No fails today so far. Let's burn that bridge when we get there. I'm your host, Penny GL. Welcome to Rise and Grind, hosted by Our Game Lounge. Or Game Lounge, whichever one you want to call us going forward. Today we have Angry Total with us and Game of Ant. Welcome,
it is
friends.
like the common room part 2.
I know, I was about to say, it's common room part 2 here. That's awesome. Plus Penny. It'll be great.
So yeah, I got my 2 guests here today that were already on the show.
It's going to be awesome, though. That's super exciting.
It is.
It is.
So,
yeah. Honestly, I had a blast, too. So.
Also, if anyone's watching this and wants to join the panel, please reach out to me on Discord, and we will let you in. We have room. And please excuse my drunk aunt Sally. No, please excuse everything behind me as I'm moving. So my studio is now where we put everything.
My house is just a regular mess, so it's fine.
I cleaned up. Well, let me rephrase. Whit cleaned up. So we've got just random stuff to cover today. I think this is my first Rise and Grind in 3 or 4, yeah, 3 or 4 weeks now. So
it's been 1 week.
Was that Bare Naked Ladies?
It is.
I think I literally just listened to that. Pinch Me. And
Oh yeah.
I think there's another one that I just listened to.
Oh man.
So, but we're gonna just start off strong today. So, thank you for the resub, Hideaway. We have all seen the Steam Deck, and this is not the decks that fall into Lassie's chat, just for clarification purposes. We're going to start off strong with this. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what the Steam Deck is, it is Steam's attempt at being the new Switch. I say attempt because it's going to fail miserably. We'll just lead that right off the bat. So they do not have your big games that are multiplayer-esque. So Destiny 2, for example, non-existent. PUBG, non-existent. Basically, your top-of-the-chart games, non-existent. What is with that? How are you going to run something and claim it's going to be a killer on the Switch and not have your big hitters on it? Not to mention, it's going to cap at 30 frames per second.
Wow.
So I have heard that they are working with some of the more popular anti-cheat software. A lot of the reasons why they couldn't do some of the higher tier games was because of anti-cheat. So they are in the process of working on that. From what I can tell, they did announce that they're looking to get into the bigger like multiplayer game sphere. You know, the AAAs. But they couldn't do that because of anti-cheat. They're getting
okay.
there,
It does say that Fortnite will be available though.
the question is, who knows if they will get there? Yeah, so it uses a different style of anti-cheat. There's a couple popular ones, and I know that some of them already work with the Steam Deck, but some of them do not.
I say just leave the handhelds to who has done them forever.
Forever, literally,
But
ever.
like
Yeah.
forever. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
Listen. To be honest, I haven't had a handheld since Game Boy. Right, like Game Boy Color. I'm not a handheld gamer. I wish I was. I get very bored very easily. I don't know why. I don't like little screens. I like big screens. It's just
So
how I am when I'm playing a game. I like seeing everything. You know what I mean? I want to see it all.
what was it that said it looked like Total? Sega
What,
made it.
That Sega made it. Oh, it
Dreamcast.
looks like the
What?
do you mean the screen itself?
The
or-
handheld that Sega made.
Oh, I forgot what that's called.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna Google it real
Now
quick.
you're asking me, and I should know
I
this.
was like,
Game? Is it the Game Gear?
I think it
Gear.
is
No,
Game Gear.
is it?
Yes.
It was the game. It was the Sega Game Gear.
Am I right?
Oh my god! Yeah, I'm looking at the picture right now. Oh my
Almost
god!
identical.
Wait, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I did have this. I was a huge Sega person. Sega CD, Echo
Oh,
the
yeah.
Dolphin.
Yeah.
Never-
Yes.
never
Echo
got-
the Dolphin.
Never got past the first level. Just swam around. Didn't know what I was doing.
Echo the Dolphin.
So
I watched someone do a whole stream on Echo the Dolphin.
that's a good
Okay.
game. And Calibri, the Hummingbird game.
Yes.
I love
would
that
do.
game.
I mean, we literally. I got Sega CD for. There was a Jurassic Park game, which was the best game in the world.
Which one was it? Was it the
It's
side scroller one where?
I don't know. Like you had to collect the eggs and incubate them, and it
Yes.
was. Yo, I really forgot about that game until I said Sega CD. That Streets of Rage 2.
Oh my
like,
God, Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
Most frustrating game of the time besides Battletoads.
I'm pretty sure that they redid Altered Beast for Sega CD too. I'm not sure.
Altered Beast was good.
But I used to
wouldn't
play
be
that all the time.
surprised. Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, Sega gets a lot of shit, but Sega Genesis and Sega CD were off the charts. Off the charts.
And
I agree with
we'll
that.
we'll pop up with the Dreamcast too, because that was like literally the console that was just for ports. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yep.
was made for the Dreamcast. Dreamcast is just like, we're going to port everything to our console.
Well,
and we're going to have
I
everything.
literally right now have a Dreamcast hanging out. I have the Sega Sports branded Dreamcast hanging out over there.
Ooh.
Foon got it for me for Christmas 2 years ago, I think now. And I love it. It's awesome.
I'm jealous. Like, I was looking at, I forgot who I was talking to about the Dreamcast on the game that I wanted to play. There was the Dino Crisis. That's what it was.
Dino Crisis.
That was
Oh, good game.
1 and 2.
So I
Sega was
recently
the shit.
finished.
Can we
It was.
Bring Sega, bring Sega MySpace and AOL Instant Messenger back. Start a movement.
Yeah, I recently finished a little while ago. Skies of Arcadia.
Mm-hmm.
That game is phenomenal, and I think it
Soundtrack,
was,
so good.
yeah, and the random encounters every 2 seconds. Also,
Old school Final Fantasy style.
no, like this actually. Skies of Arcadia is known for being like one of the worst when it comes to random encounters and like encounter speed, to the point where people have made mods to like slow down the encounter speed. And I'm like, yes, that's when you know it's too much.
That is bad.
Anyway, back to the
I can buy Sega games on CD keys.
You can.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 4.
Mm-hmm.
Never played it. but
Might
Streets
play
of
it
Rage-
now.
Streets of Rage 2 was pretty good, right? So
You should.
I'm gonna go all vintage game. My whole channel's gonna change here.
It's just a flip.
What do you think I do? It's awesome because I get really excited. I'm like, oh, a new old game. Like everything's new to me. It's so exciting.
I don't see handheld beating Switch ever. I just think they've
So
No.
I'll
had
read
the
off
market. had the market locked
the
down.
specs for you, particularly the CPU. So it's running an AMD APU, which is a quad-core Zen 2 CPU. But Valve believes it's going to be enough in the device to cope with the regulars of modern gaming at 30 FPS. So for us not techie geek people, I say that that's a load of shit, and it is going to stutter hardcore.
Is
So
this
I
like
actually watched
the
a
video game system? Oh, go ahead, Tuttle. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is this like the video game system that Soldier Boy tried to release?
No, but that was
Yeah, no,
that was funny.
I love
He basically took, what was it? I think it was
Dreamcast.
yeah, I think it was a Dreamcast or the old
And then put one of
Xbox.
those mods in where you can play like 60 games.
Oh yeah, you can play like a bunch of other things in it.
He's like, here's my system, and it's like, no.
So I watched yesterday. I watched a video of someone who actually took the specs that they came out with and built a equivalent PC, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And they did play I know they played Genshin at 720 with no frame drop. Like everything was like 80 frames. It didn't do a terrible job.
So did they hit
also
action
had
scenes with that?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
And from what I could see, they did have there were caveats. Quality was pretty low. It's at 720p max, but also I think they dropped some textures and effects. So the frames are good.
It can
but
do
at
it,
what
but
cost? Yes. But it's not going to be nearly as pretty.
Right. And speaking of Genshin, I just want to throw this out there. I just learned that Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to Genshin. And
heard about
PlayStation users get first dibs on her with her bow, and then after that PC users get it. And that will probably bring me back to that game, if I'm going to be honest. I got to the point where Wit surpassed me in Genshin, and I was like, I hate this game. It's like, I'm done. But then I saw that, and I was like, maybe.
There seems like the internet's really like positive about this though. Like
About the Steam Deck
I'm like looking up stuff and I'm like, people are like kind of hyped for this. And
Well, I mean, it's new. So.
it's new. It's new. It's a new gaming thing, right? But even like the memes, I was looking at memes against like the Switch Pro versus Steam Deck. I mean, they kind of.
Oh yeah, that's been all over the place.
They kind of look identical.
So, it.
It's weird.
And they do it on purpose. I mean, of course they do.
Yeah, 'cause
Like, Nintendo came out with a good system.
They
Has
did.
a nice look to it. I mean,
It's
the
slick.
Joy-Cons needed some extra development, but
They needed a solid
regardless-
2 years on that.
yeah, probably. Regardless, they're working on it, and it's a good look though, and it's a thin thing. We were talking about it. Like, hopefully, it's not like a monster of a
Right, because if you
controller.
look at the
I have
pictures,
tendinitis.
Yeah.
I can't hold the giant thing.
I was gonna say, if you look at the pictures of it, the people's hands are like
looks,
this. It looks like, whereas the Switch is basically like, you know, just like grips.
Yeah, it's awful.
I mean, they used a really small hand model here to make this thing look massive.
That's true.
Like also, this lady's hands are like as big as my 2 fingers, and she's holding this thing. It looks like
she's got the T-Rex claws going on.
It's like if a normal person held a PlayStation in their hand. That's what it looks like. This lady's hands are that small. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put it in the chat. So
yeah, please put it in like somewhere. I need to see this because I haven't seen these tiny hands.
PC Gamer has it on their front page for it, and he is right. It's like.
Oh no.
I just want to say that her nails look like the color that Baron Von Cheese's nails were yesterday. For those of you who are familiar with that streamer, that looks exactly like his colored nails. As he called it, Superman Blue.
There it is.
I'm looking for this picture.
Oh yeah, it does look enormous.
Oh,
I see the picture you're talking about.
It's the blue nails, right? The periwinkle. What color are they?
They're like.
Oh, is it purple? Well.
You're colorblind.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am colorblind.
Everything's blue to Penny.
Penny's like, I know what color it is.
One.
Anyway, hi Asylum. How are you, buddy?
Hi Asylum.
Hey guys, how's it going?
You missed us talking about Sega CD. We all got really excited for a minute, and then we had to get back on track. I really want to divert back to the Sega CD.
Sega CD is that is a 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
That is a system that, like, if I see it at a yard sale ever, I am.
It's like $5. It's like, here's 100. Take it all. No change.
Take it all. Here's your tip.
Man, I love
especially if you have Echo.
Find that kind of stuff. Oh, so good. Well, Echo the Dolphin also came out, or well, not Echo. Echo didn't it come out on PC too?
It did.
Did it?
Yeah.
It did. You can actually pick it up. I think it's on Humble.
Yeah.
So
you gotta think though, like I was probably like 8 when that game came out. So like I didn't know what
the mind complexity was just like I hate this. I'm a dolphin. Into
the wall.
I think it's like yeah, I forget how it worked, but I know that like I know it came out for PC as well. I like my brain wants to say it came out for PC.
I would like to yes.
The Jurassic Park game that I was talking about.
It's not Warpath because that was like
it's just called Jurassic Park. It came out in 1992.
Is that where you play as Alan Grant?
You don't see anything. I think it's like you're in
first person
running around. You're fighting raptors that are like spitting and shit. Like it's crazy, right? It's I want to find like someone. I want to watch someone play through this. When did it actually come out though?
That's a good question. Look it up. Tell me. I can figure out. Go ahead. Sorry.
There was another Jurassic Park game for the PlayStation 1, if I'm not mistaken, where you could actually be a dinosaur.
Yes.
And then evolve yourself up.
I remember that.
Game.
Where you died and then you would have to go all the way back to Compy, and you're like, seriously?
And you're like, fuck this game. Throw on the controller. You're only like 8 years old.
Yep, here it is.
Every dinosaur.
It was on Nintendo too. But like, look at this game. I'm about to fuck you guys up with some truth real quick. This game is. I'm telling you, if I could get my hands on this somehow, this would be like a 10-year streak.
I was gonna say you could probably leave it to either me or Tuttle, and we can find the stuff with the amount of retro game places around us.
but
Either that, give it Triangles.
Triangle will find it in a heartbeat.
Triangle.
And so would Paladin. Yeah. Paladin would find it in a heartbeat too.
Yeah. Paladin will probably be like, hey, wait a minute, I've got a copy of that.
He's like, I got this. Yeah. Matter of fact, I've got this.
Every time I would fight a T-Rex, I'd go, no, but a T-Rex is strong. And then Penny would share a dog that says, but not as strong as family. And it would be perfect. And it would all come full circle. Yes. But yeah,
oh man, this game.
That game was literally like, and there was a game for just regular Sega that was like the only Olympic game I've ever played. It was the Olympic basketball game where you could play like as the U.S. Olympic team. It was, man, Sega was like, I don't know. Obviously, Sega comes out, and then you get the Nintendo 64, And Nintendo 64, in my opinion, is the best system of all time. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I
But-
would. Yep. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, N64 is up there, if not top tier. Or not the top. It is top tier at the very least.
I think for me it would be N64 at number 1, and then GameCube at number 2,
Yep.
and then number 3. If I had to pick a third system,
This is an important decision here. Don't screw this.
if I had to pick a third system, excluding PC, because PC can do it all, that doesn't count. So
Yeah, okay.
that's my defense there.
Okay.
I think I would actually have to pick the PlayStation 1.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Because they all revolutionized gaming. After gaming was, I mean, Sega took what like Super NES did and took it to the next level. Then Sega CD came out. Then the N64 comes out. N64 is literally,
Especially when they did
game
the plugin that actually updated the graphics in the console,
Yep.
which was really weird.
yep.
That was like super revolutionized because all the games were like, oh my god, I can get 3 more pixels out of this.
But
And it
take-
was-
Yeah, for $60, which is
Like,
the
you
price
got
of the
those
system.
3 pixels, and it's like, wow.
But if you remember, if you take that concept, what you've just literally said, you're literally just about to swap a graphics card out of your computer.
Which is true.
And that's why I went-
They're starting you off early. Here you
Well,
go.
yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I would imagine you would take these PC companies who would look at something like that and be like, we could do that on a larger scale, obviously. Like, these people back then were spending $60 on whatever that chip was. I forgot what it was called. I think I know it went into the expansion bay. That's all I remember.
Yep, I remember.
But
it.
the N64, I think, started at $100, if I remember right, which was a lot back then.
We actually own a
Might have
video
been
store. I think it was one. I think it was $139 actually.
Was
okay,
it?
yeah.
I think
Quite
so,
expensive
because
for
the games were $39.99, which was astronomical at the
Right.
time.
They were way
Astronomical.
higher than
You are
normal.
missing the .99 off the end of that.
Yeah. You're right.
13999.
So,
Always.
I remember
But for me-
picking up my N64 from Toys R Us, which is already a very old statement.
Yeah.
I actually, my,
Toys
because
R Us.
my dad owned a video store. I had the N64 the day it came out because my dad was selling them. So he owned a video store with the video games. So he got, I think he could only get 10 systems. I think like for a small independent store, I think 10 was the max. And I kid you not, he put one aside for me and one aside for my best friend. 8 of them were gone within the first 5 minutes of opening.
I don't
Literally,
doubt
like,
that.
line out the door. Like it was
Right.
like one of the busiest. But my dad only had there was only like 3 or 4 games. I think it was like Mario 64, Wave Race, Wayne Gretzky 3D Hockey, and there was another one. And of course, me and my best friend rented them because I was like, I have an N64 with no games. So
Yeah, right.
Blockbuster was a lifesaver for stuff like that.
Blockbuster,
well,
man.
they came
cool.
they came 6 months after, or maybe a year after, because I live in a small beach town. There was no Blockbuster, so it was just my dad's video store, and my dad caught wind that they were coming, and he shut everything down. Because when that started happening, when the N64 started getting real hot and all that, the video movie game kind of changed too as people started getting DVDs. So DVDs were coming and all that was coming. So my dad was like, I'm out. Like now it's getting crazy. Like it's bad enough people don't rewind the tapes. Now I'm going to give them a disc. No, thank you. Like,
See, talking about Blockbuster, did anybody have any like DVDs or games or anything that they had literally had from Blockbuster before it shut?
When it shut down.
Like
I
when
did-
it
I
shut
did
down,
not.
because you didn't have to give them back.
Right. You could just. I know that like at near the end they were just selling stock. I did
Yeah, they were
go,
selling stock.
Yeah, I know. I did go to the one near my dad's when it was kind of close to death. Unfortunately, it was pretty
Wow.
bare. And that was just kind of it.
Yeah.
so the N64, just fact checking, the N64 sold for $199.
Was it?
Okay.
That is
Wow.
She expensive.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
It is
when did it come out?
expensive.
It came out what?
1999.
Yeah.
99.
1998.
Whoops.
When was
So-
the PS1 out?
I think
Oh,
right
one?
about the
Yeah,
same
right
time.
Was it like literally just after?
2000
Yep.
or 01.
I think it.
Hmm.
I think it was 99.
Was it? It might have been.
I mean, I know Ant's about to look it up, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you like feverishly typing,
I'm
and I
like-
appreciate it.
Because
In Japan, wait.
there are two different models. Because you
It
have
was first released in Japan in 1994.
December 3rd, 1994.
Okay, no, so
yeah.
it might be earlier than that. I can't remember.
1995.
okay.
Oh, okay.
December 3rd, 1994 was the release date for
Was
it.
the release date?
It was
Oh.
very expensive. This was $300.
Yeah, expensive. It was a really expensive system for back then.
That's why in
Did it?
64, when it came out, it crushed PlayStation because it was a cheaper
Right.
system
It
and it
was
was
cheaper.
newer.
Well, it was. Listen, that's what. If you told me now that Nintendo wouldn't be one of the top game, system developers in the world, I would be shocked because Nintendo was so big that everything that came out Nintendo was top. And I know we're talking about the Switch and the Steam Deck and all that, so it kind of you're going against Nintendo. They kind of transition to another thing. But
Well, not Nintendo does this thing. Oh, go ahead. Continue.
yeah, no. Go ahead. Like Nintendo has Super Mario. It has these exclusive
Yeah.
rights that people grew up playing.
Super
that
IPs.
they want.
And that's the big thing. They have their big characters, and actually, Nintendo used to be a lot more loosey goosey with their characters and their stuff. That's why we have a Mario Brothers movie. It's amazingly bad. But
I was waiting
Anyway,
for that.
yeah, it's a great bad movie. I recommend watching it.
So, you know
But
what
anyway-
what they should have done is put at the end, made by Nintendo, and it'd been absolutely fucking amazing.
Well, no, see, that's the thing. It was licensed by Nintendo, but it was not made by Nintendo. It was
See,
Nintendo
that's-
used to be a lot more like free with like smaller groups kind of asking. They'd be like, "Hey, can we use Mario?" And they're like, "Yeah." And now, I forget who it was. It was a woman who was one of their like higher up marketing developers who was like, maybe we should just like not do that. And she kind of suggested to start being a little bit more selective when it came to developers and almost not allowing anyone else to use their characters.
Became super
And that's
exclusive.
kind of, and that's kind of how Nintendo has its fan base, because you're not going to get a Mario game on another system. You're not going to get a Mario game on PC. And by Mario, I mean Mario or like any of their other
Yeah, Mario
developers.
Kart, Mario Party, Mario.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
all
But
of them.
not even that. Like they also have what?
Star
They have
Fox?
Mickey, they have Star Fox. They have like they have a good collection of characters, and you're not going to see any of them anywhere but Nintendo. And that's kind of Nintendo is in its own bracket at this point,
Right.
because
So-
you got
So
everyone battling over here for AAA's, and then Nintendo's like, nah, Mario.
So Calvert says Sony and Nintendo split back in the early 90s was the catalyst for the rise of PlayStation and in turn Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah, it really was, because just like what Toto was saying, you have Enjoy Holiday Mode, Munch. You have those what I consider super IPs, because they're no longer IPs at this point. Because
They're monsters.
like you look at other stuff that could be considered super IPs is Kratos or Master Chief.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
you
Master
hear a
Chief.
system and you immediately think this person. That's a super IP in my opinion. Whereas you have other IPs like
Gears of War is definitely one. Like,
it
people-
absolutely is. And like
Marcus Phoenix, you know what I mean? Like that's.
Well, even like Forza.
I was gonna say Forza was
Forza, yeah.
and Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
Gran
Gran
Turismo. Also very big names that you expect to be on
No.
whatever system they're on,
So can I have a fun thing real quick when we're talking about all the vintage stuff? Can we talk about our favorite N64 games? Because I think, or what we think the best were? Because there were so many. Like I think that
It's
So
a tough
let's
call,
do
dude. That's
top
gonna start-
top three.
That's
top
gonna
five,
start.
top
top
five.
five. Oh.
Three's impossible.
Oh.
But then you're gonna start causing rifts within chat, and it's gonna be interesting to see
That's
what
why
chat
we
thinks
want to do
about.
it. That's why
But
we
it's
do
it's
it.
gonna be interesting to see what chat thinks
So-
as well. So
Yeah.
start
Your
with
idea,
the
your
top three,
idea,
chat.
your idea, Ant. You go ahead and take the flack immediately.
Yeah.
All right, it's fine. My number one game, because it's my number one game of all time, is Super Mario 64.
That's
and
fair.
I think it was.
Wahoo!
Yeah, I think I only had 124 stars. I needed that one more star to beat the whole game. I couldn't find it anywhere. 100, but that game was just so addicting. I think it was like the revolution of Mario. We saw him in a different graphic set. We saw a whole different open world concept, kind of like you had to do stuff, but it wasn't like you were just running across one street. You could do left, you could go right, you could go up, you could go down, and to that game just hit it out of the park. My second game, obviously everyone loves it, is GoldenEye, right? GoldenEye 007 is probably the best shooter of all time. I think it was the most fun. I think it was the catalyst for these multiplayer shooters because people would sit in one room with 3 or 4 controllers and they would only play the
split screen.
Or 2 controller, and you would only play the one where you drop out of the air vent in the bathroom. That's the only map. The only map that people would play.
Or the big temple. The big temple one was pretty good too.
Temple was fun too. There's so many. I would have to say number 3, because of me being a wrestling fan, is WCW NWO Revenge. I think one of the top wrestling games of all time. So much fun. So that's 3 for me. Now, this is where it gets tough because I have so many different games that I could put here, right? 4 or 5. Like, I loved Pokemon Snap. I don't know
oh my god, yes.
So I'm going to go, Cruising USA, right?
Rush was a good one to that too.
The Star Wars game, I forget what one it is.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, there were giant.
Or Shadow. Was it Shadow? Shadow of the Empire. Right, there we go. Yeah. Shadow of the Empire.
Is that the one with the underwater monster that scared the shit out of me? I'm putting that at 4. It gave me nightmares as a kid. Right? The graphics are terrible now. I laugh at them. But before, shit myself. So
I can't tell what it is. Oh my god.
that would be 4. And then 5 would be Wave Race, Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball 6 honorable mention.
Okay, so I'll take second here. Chat's
Donkey Kong?
No, I'm not a Donkey Kong guy. Not a Donkey Kong guy.
Chat has already mentioned it. For me, it would be Ocarina of Time, and I'm gonna. So bear with me. I'm gonna combine the 2, but Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask.
Those are that's because that's just a continuation of Ocarina of Time, basically.
What is
They're
that?
incredibly difficult.
Yeah, Zelda.
To rank. I was like, I was sitting here like, which one?
Yeah,
Which
so
one?
because Majora's Mask was basically Link dying and grieving, so it's a continuation of that game. It's the official expansion of that, in my opinion. So
right.
Hot take,
second,
I've never played a Zelda game.
Really good. I would highly recommend you should play at least one. There are some really, they're really good.
It's just not my style.
So second, I'm gonna have to probably go with Turok: Seeds of Evil.
Okay, yeah. Turok's great.
Love Turok. That was like how you compared FPS or GoldenEye to FPS for multiplayer. I think Turok was that for single player, like because it was the first game that came out that, besides Turok 1, obviously, who had no minimap, no direction. It was like run and gun, literally run and gun. Here's your world.
You wanted a shooter.
It was actually like, so it kind of fed into, I forgot about Turok until you said it. It kind of fed into my Jurassic Park. I loved it from Sega CD. Now I can kill these dinosaurs with like shotguns. Like, let's go.
And blow them up. And it's like,
let's go.
So that's 2. I think my third one would probably have to be Star Fox 64.
Great.
I really enjoyed, piloting the Arkwing and then going down on the tank and driving the tank around. And then 4 would probably have to be, trying to like recollect everything that I've owned.
I know.
Pod Racer, Star Wars Pod Racer. That was
fun.
So good.
Okay, yeah.
So good.
No, tell me why I forgot about 1080 snowboarding.
Right, I'm
is
actually
that
looking
SSX?
over here and scrolling through stuff.
SSX snowboarding. Yeah.
No,
there's so many games.
There was one called 1080, right? There was
1080. Oh, I didn't.
On N64, it was literally, I could play it all the time. I'm buying an N64. That's it, guys. I gotta go.
Let's see. Number 5. I'm trying not to look up games because I know I'm gonna look up a list and be like, oh wait, let me redo my whole list.
I have a list over here. I do have my main ones that I think I'm gonna go with, but continue.
So I have an idea, actually. Why don't we do a show one time where it's a bracket, and we literally have people vote on what is the best Nintendo 64 game of all time. And you have the chat vote, we vote, and it's like Game Lounge thinks Turok's the best game.
Have I really flipped around? Because the camera looks the same for me. Like, it's
on the stream. It's flipped 180. Yeah, it's a mirror image.
Weird.
Is it really? Because it's still over here for me.
You're looking out.
Look at your stream.
Oh no, we're all flipped.
I am looking at my stream.
Yeah, we're all flipped.
But have them next to each other. Have Discord and your stream next to each other.
I do, and they look the same.
Well, it's completely different on my end. I'll send you a screenshot.
Okay, that's fine.
That's really weird.
So number 5. See, I'm conflicted because I like Banjo-Kazooie, but I don't think it could hit my number 5. Like, that would maybe be like the second honorable mention.
Oh my god, NFL Blitz. I forgot about NFL Blitz.
So
I shouldn't have looked at this list. I just opened
it.
I know.
I think Shadow of War would be number 5. I think I would have to go with Double Star Wars. Honorable mentions for me would be, GoldenEye.
What about Doom 64?
I was going to say Doom was another honorable mention for me.
There's Pokemon Stadium. There's Pokemon
that's one of mine, yeah.
So I wanted to do Pokemon Stadium, but I would have done Pokemon Stadium because I could have played red, blue, or yellow on a big screen, and I felt like that did not justify Pokemon Stadium because that was basically a party game.
Yeah.
So,
well,
it all depends on how many people you knew who were like mega into the actual battle thing. I, for a long time, did a lot of like seriously competitive battles and like IV and EV training. So Pokemon Stadium is like a big one for me. But I also understand it's one of those that like.
Here's a game I've never played, but a lot of people liked was Perfect Dark.
Ooh, I was about to say Perfect Dark.
I forgot about Perfect Dark.
Really good one too.
That's a game that I've never picked up myself, but it was something that.
That's one I feel like people should play.
Yeah.
That's
we still doing top 5? Do you want to go Asylum?
You can go. I'm trying to figure something out.
He's looking at a list too. He's like, shit.
I have a couple. So I actually am. I never owned an N64 as a kid. I was very sad, but actually my family started with a PlayStation, and neither of my parents were really into like the whole video game thing. So my dad played like a couple of games on the PlayStation, and my first game ever was actually Spyro the Dragon. I literally have a tattoo of it. I'm obsessed with Spyro.
He is the best.
But going back to the N64, I really only started playing it with other friends. Like I would go to friends' houses and play their games. But also emulation tools now. As I'm older, I'm trying to get through as many like big names. I've gotten through a good handful. The ones that I did play as I was younger, Super Mario 64, also just like, I don't know if that's number 1 for me. It's probably like, I'd say like 2 or 3, just because of the it's a solid game. It's just a really good game, and who doesn't remember that game? Jumping into the paintings and the 3D world, and the mechanics were tight. It's one of my favorite N64 games. Same as Penny, Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. I actually beat Majora's Mask on stream a little while ago. It was like one of my second or third like long stream games. Obsessed. I don't know which one I love more now. I don't know if I love Ocarina or Majora's Mask.
That's why I went boop, stuck them together.
Yeah, it's so hard. So I call those 1 and 2. Super Mario 64 3. I have Paper Mario as well, because
that was a good one.
Paper Mario is so good. That would be 4 for me. Another just like great tight mechanics, interesting, a little wacky.
New concept too to gaming.
Exactly, yeah. And so for me, big honorable mention, again, Pokemon Stadium is a big honorable mention for me. I don't think I'm going to put it in the top 5. Just because you're right, it's a group game. It's not necessarily as fun alone. And same with Pokemon Snap. I did not play that much as a kid. I played it maybe once or twice. I also didn't get to do all the sticker stuff, which I'm really upset about. But for those of you who have it on the Switch, they do make a sticker printer for the Switch.
They do.
Just putting it out there. I need it. That's another story. I think 5 for me would probably be, oh, where was it? So this is a dumb one, but Kirby 64.
I liked Kirby. Dreamland?
I am obsessed. Yeah, I'm obsessed with Kirby. Just any Kirbo games. I've probably chewed through them at some point in my life. I just love that little pink man. That's it.
Okay, you got any good honorable mentions to your list, or?
Like I said, Stadium, Snap, and those are probably my 2 big ones. And Banjo-Kazooie, I never got through it. It's not a big one for me, but I know it's a big name for a lot of people. And the modding community has gone buck wild.
Super bananas with that game.
Actually, Foon showed me recently a Banjo-Kazooie mod that is actually Banjo-Kazooie in the style of Super Mario 64, where you go into other N64 games. It is this monster mod where you go into Mario 64, you go into Ocarina of Time, you go into Majora's Mask, like all of the 3D platformy games, you play through those as Banjo. It's and like you kind of it's still like, you know, the Banjo mechanics of finding and this and that, but all the levels are pulled from N64 games. It's incredible. But yeah, those are big honorable mentions for me.
Thank you.
Asylum's over here. Asylum's over here trying to make me get a divorce, sending me videos and pictures of N64s for sale when I'm like literally have an offer out on the house today where I can't spend I can't spend $5 and he's like, here's one for $190 and I'm like about to buy it.
I can't. Yeah.
So we'll let Asylum go through his list and then we'll answer your question, Hideaway.
I'm more on the same kind of page as Ant. I never really liked any Zelda games or anything like that, but some of the games that you mentioned, Penny, are pretty much on my list as well. I can't choose a top 5. I'm sorry, guys. I spent way too many fucking hours playing games, more so than others, and then I'd go back to the other game, but well, I haven't played this for a while. I mean, I'm just gonna sit here and play it. Can we also?
Well, if that's the case, I mean, that's cool. I guess you can take a skip on this. I guess.
Yeah, I'm skipping on that. That's just too difficult.
So, Hideaway.
Real quick, I'm finding this Kraken from Star Wars N64. If you guys played this game, you will have nightmares tonight, and you're welcome. I gotta find this sea monster.
I mean, I thought you were talking about the rum, but you know.
I love Kraken. I love Kraken rum, by the way.
I do too.
Look at this thing. This thing. It just looks like a pimple now. But back in the day, this thing was scary as shit. No, dude. Oh, I'm sharing it. I'm gonna share it in our. If you're here, we'll share it in the lounge chat so you guys can see it on Discord. And if you're not part of Discord, join it. There's a cheap plug.
Oh, there you go. So
it's a cheap plug.
You can, if you get with Hideaway or Ant, they can pull you up, Kyle, if that's what you're asking. I don't speak in number terms, but so I can pull Hideaway asks a guest question. I'm assuming that would be you, Tuttle.
I feel like, yeah, whoever.
So, best Kirby Mario form?
So, I mean, of course, 2 different answers. Mario form, cat. You're welcome. I love the cat costume in the new, as well as in the have you seen Bowser's Fury cat Mario?
I've only seen it in the trailer commercial of that game, but
amazing. Everything is cats. It's so good. But that one is Catboy is great. Cat Mario is amazing. For Kirby, that's a really hard one. There are so many super good Kirbo forms.
Literally, he could be anything. So
my another horrible hot take is I don't like Kirby.
That's okay. You don't have
to
like
Kirby.
Total's like, I'll murder you later.
Total's like, we live in the same state, and I will drive down and kill you. But I'm not. Listen, you're gonna put Kirby in front of me. I'd rather play Mario. Like I'm just that.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's just how I am. I don't know.
It's one of those things where like Also, it also depends on like what kind of style of game you're into.
Kirby is the catalyst for Peppa Pig. I hate everything about it. I don't know why.
Oh, I
think
love
of
Kirby.
I look at Peppa Pig, I think of Kirby, and now I hate my children. So thanks.
Kirbo's he's my little man. What was I saying? Oh, Kirbo form. So I love OG, like the sword form is really good. That's one of my personal favorites. One that I use a lot though, just because I love it, is the shock form, where he has like the electric bubble. That's a personal favorite of mine. I think those two are my personal favorites to use. But also sleep form's really cute. So yeah.
Legends with me. Let's go.
No, hey, listen.
I think Legend just wanted to do a cheap dad joke.
Hashtag Kirby sucks.
Oh, yes, he does.
We're starting a movement.
It's how he gets his powers, first of all.
I know.
Actually, even on our D&D streams, I have a little container on our tabletop simulator that is a little Kirby with like its mouth open, and you can just store stuff in it. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Give me Yoshi in 5. Yoshi in game 5. He beat Kirby 4-1 in the best of 5.
Yoshi also,
guaranteed.
I doubt that. I don't think anything could do that. Kirbo is the Eldritch monster. He has literally killed gods on more than one occasion.
But Yoshi takes a god around, okay? Yoshi escorts a god. Okay.
Fair enough.
Does anybody remember Wipeout?
Yes.
Wipeout. Hold on.
Yes.
I do remember Wipeout. Yes.
You remember Wipeout?
I think that stupid TV show now.
Like
that was a good show though.
Multiplayer.
Oh my god, yes.
With your friends, like trying to get dominant, and it just doesn't work.
So, Ant mentioned Yoshi, and I have to say that Yoshi's Island.
I was about to say Yoshi's Island.
Probably one of my all-time favorite games to go through. The art style was super unique. It was a cute game. The mechanics made you want to rage hardcore. And then you're like, oh, I can't. This is a cute game. And then you're like, I hate Yoshi. And then you're like, but I hate Baby Mario. And it's just a conflict of interest and emotions.
Crying. Crying. It will haunt my dreams.
Or you had Harvest Body.
Oh.
I haven't played that.
You had what?
Harvest Body.
I haven't played that.
N64?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
That's the game that Ant would play.
Because I need to know.
So we will circle right back to where we started with this, with the handheld stuff, with hardware and everything else like that. I would like to take a quick minute and poke fun at New World real fast. So recently the menu was hardcore accelerating the 3090s, like to the point of burning them out.
And it was only a very specific type of 3090.
It was EVGAs.
Yes, very specifically EVGA 3090s. They were like wasting them. Did they figure out why?
They don't know why. However, EVG did come out and say they're going to replace all of them. Any of them that were burnt out. So, that leads me to believe that these companies are stockpiling these somewhere. First of all, foremost, because you can't buy them. Unless you're hitting a scalper price. You can't buy them. And here's the company going, we'll replace them. Here you go.
Here's the question. Are they saying we will replace them and you have to find it?
Nope.
Or are
they ship it to you.
We will do it. Here you go.
It's all them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the other one, like the you have to find it, would lead me to believe they would be like, no, that's a scalper price. We can't pay that for you.
So
you know what I mean? They would get like push you into you have to find one MSRP, which is impossible.
Right.
Like literally impossible. Even stores don't sell it at MSRP.
Correct. They up the price now. Excuse me. But yeah, they said that they are coming out and replacing all of them that were affected. The thing about that is you have to prove that yours got burnt out by the game.
Easy.
How do you do that?
Easy. Whack everything up to max and leave it running for 48 hours.
So
yeah, no, the question is though, like, how do you prove that? Do you?
Well, you
like...
could go through event logs first of all.
Oh yeah, I guess.
And pull that
through
up.
log. That's fair.
And just say
fair.
this crashed during this time, and this is the time frame I was playing this game.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
So that would be
Also-
my only way of thinking of proving something like that would happen is through event logs. I don't know what the equivalent.
People that have no idea how to do that.
Right, which is the shitty part about that.
Yeah, because that is super shit. I mean, like, granted, they also can't, though. They can't be like, we'll replace any 3090, because you'll have average Joe like, nah, you killed mine.
Mm-hmm.
You could edit. You could
Hand up,
edit.
please. You know,
could.
which, like, granted, I don't think will happen that often, but it is still like, you do have to cover your ass as a company and blah 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 blah. You know,
But you could edit the event log.
That is also true.
Mm.
So,
But it also
how,
depends
how,
on
do-
who's looking at it. Yeah.
how do they know that it's not been edited in a certain format and blah blah
Right.
blah?
So
Because
just
I've edited an event log before.
overall, it would be very interesting to see how that type of stuff would play out because
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that the company acknowledged that their high-end
That
GPU
this is
just got
very
burnt
specific.
out by a high-end game, and they're like, "Huh, why is only our card doing this?" Because I play it on a 2060 and no problem. I play on high. I've streamed it, no problem. And
Yeah, it's very specifically just 3090s EVGA.
yep, which is, I think, really funny in a way.
It's
It's
a
like
little.
you have like these cards that are like hardcore mining stuff at higher voltage, higher speeds, and
They're
everything.
monsters. They're monster.
And then you
cards.
have this game that comes out and is like, I got you.
Joke's on you. And EVGA cards are also really, really good. EVGA has been one of the few companies that has been actually really good when it comes to trying to stop the crazy like miner buying all the stock
Yep,
sort of
they,
thing.
what was it? There was a firmware patch on it, was it not? Where
That
they
is
like
also
throttled the
happened.
card or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
they have that, but they also have like they had a queue, and they still do actually. EVGA does this thing where you can't buy more than one, based on your computer's like IP address and something else. Like they signature every computer. I can't
Mhm.
remember how they do it, but regardless, you have to go in through like an email pool. You have to give all your information, and I mean, granted, this is the only way to get an EVGA card. They're basically or buy in store. They're like, we'll call you when we have one. And that's you could be there for months, you could be there for 5 days, depends on your lottery,
Mhm.
basically. And which, like, granted is frustrating, but I'd also prefer that over having to literally like fist fight people in
Literally.
a line and or
So, Legend says, was your GPU killed by that game? I mean, you say you knew it was EVG, not NVIDIA, but
oh, me?
no, Legend. He just said in chat.
Legend.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, it's like I was gonna feel so bad if your card just died, and I just talked shit about it.
No, that would be really sad.
Oh, you had warnings. What did the warnings
Yeah,
say?
I
Did they
heard-
just pop up and just say, "Hey, your card's overheating" or something? Oh, from friends. Oh, okay. I get you.
Yeah, that spread super fast. That information spread like wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
That would be bad. Oh man.
So here's another one specifically for you, Tuttle. PUBG is updating their skin from what you saw.
I heard about that. It's a happy ending to a sad story.
However, I still feel like they should have paid royalties to that company. All they did was like, we're changing the name. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For those of you who don't know, I guess we should probably go into the full story. So there is a game called Hypnospace Outlaw. It is phenomenal. It's this great indie game. And it has a very specific look to it. Long story short, you should look it up. It's great. Triangle saying Foon in pajamas in the back.
Thanks for those bits, Triangle.
Incredible. Anyway, so there's this game, Hypnospace Outlaw, and it has a certain look. A person at Tencent or whatever, they're coming out with this new skin And in the Chinese version, it is called like golden something. It has like a very specific set of like characters for the meaning, for the look of the skin. And someone, I guess, on the American side saw it and was like, hey, that looks like a Hypnospace skin, knowing the Hypnospace game. So one really crappy person was like, hey, that's what this looks like. And everyone else was like, not gonna check it. They were like, sure, Hypnospace, we did it. And like very specifically picked it out because of this game, Hypnospace. Did not ask to use the name, did not pay royalties, just pulled the name.
Literally plucked it out of code.
Yes, yeah. Was like, here you go. And long story short, a lot of people were really upset about it, as well as the developer, because he was like, people think, they see the skin and they think that I have now, you know, been working with Tencent, which I have not, and I did not want to be associated with this group just because he's a small developer, and he's like, this is not a group that I would be working with just personally. So yeah, they kind of screwed him a little bit, but happy ending, they didn't know, like they just didn't check, I guess, which
I would argue that it's not a happy ending. It's just an oops, we did it.
It's a happier ending than it could have been.
So,
because he could have been sued into the ground or lawyered into the ground.
Well, I would say yes and no to that, because you're going up against Tencent, which
no, that's what I'm saying.
Which
Tencent,
literally owns like
50%
of the games out there now.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think Tencent, if any lawyering was to happen, Tencent would have won.
Oh,
and Tencent would have, because this is one guy. This is one dude who made that game. It's a phenomenal game, by the way. He was like saying like, I don't know if I have the ability to have
win
a
this
legal option.
It's like,
yeah.
Hey, Kyle.
Also, hi.
Stop, buddy.
Yeah. So he was like nervous, and Tencent dropping it to a point is like bittersweet, but at least they dropped it.
They did. And that's another thing that I think is really frustrating when you hit companies like this with any form of, you know, stop what you're doing as an indie developer. One, that guy was brave as hell to do that, because there is like Tencent has a super track record of stiff arming indie developers into the ground to the point where their games no longer release.
Yeah,
and
the good thing is it's been out for a while, and it does have a really devout fan base, like myself included. I tweeted about it. I was like very upset. So it may have also been social pressure that they had a lot of people saying like, excuse me, but
I mean, let's take the approach of it not being a fandom game, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you have Tencent, who I'm drawing a blank on the two indie companies I was literally about to talk about, but they shoved them into the ground and then erased them because they stood up against them. Like they stood up against them and was like, you're pulling my artwork, you're pulling my code from my game, you're pulling, you know, XYZ from my game, and Tencent's like, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. And then they tried to sue them, and Tencent's like, good luck.
No.
We own 50% of stocks and majority of the companies for games. You are not going to touch us.
Right, and a small developer, there's no way, which is terrifying. But yeah.
Such is the life of indie devs. So anytime somebody's like, I'm an indie dev, and then it's like, good luck, man. Like,
seriously, good luck.
And it's not like a petty good luck. It's you have these companies out here who
like seriously good luck.
Who will not hold back from pulling shit out of your game and then using it for their own game.
Oh no, not at all.
And then saying,
yep. Yeah, like what
are you going to do?
Yeah, literally, what are you going to do? Because the answer is nothing.
So here's something for you, Asylum, that I found very interesting.
Okay.
So Apex Legends is doing their Pro League very soon. They're going to take PC gamers, PC pro players, and throw them against aim-assisted console players.
Fuck that.
So, and it's an up of 5% aim assist for the console players. So it's the equivalent of an aimbot at that point, in my opinion.
So, one, PC players are then just literally just going to get shat on. Two, PC players are just going to be like, fuck this game.
Right.
3, Apex is going to see a dramatic decrease in people playing,
and they just got their crossplay,
and they've just done crossplay.
So you're gonna, it's like catering to the audience. Like, here's your crossplay. Let's nuke it. It's like.
Okay, so like, I'm going to give you an example.
They must have seen other games and gotten nervous about it too. Sorry, go ahead, Asylum.
I'm going to give you an example. Jamie plays on Switch, and she plays with the controller.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I can go up against Jamie, who's playing, or sorry, Miss Strange, and play Versa 1-on-1 in the firing range with her controller.
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time, I will literally down Jamie. Yeah. That 10%, when I'm running past, there's just a fluctuant streak of tracking, and I'm like, what the fuck? How?
But yeah,
while you're firing and there's no recoil on the weapon, so the gun isn't doing this.
Yeah, there's no movement.
You're just straight track.
It's crazy. The EA announced it, and they were like, plastering is this big good news. It's like one of our biggest tournaments are coming out with PC versus console players. And we have such support on this. And it's like, yeah, the console players are like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I got 15% increase to ain't chance.
Because you're going to be able to cheat your way through and getting platinum or getting master or getting fucking Apex Legend. Like, do it properly. You can literally turn that shit off in the settings and do it properly.
Mm-hmm. So
here's the thing, though, with console, it's so it's a lot harder to aim, and like, granted, we do have to kind of look at that. Like, I'm not saying that this is a good idea, because it is not. It's not a good idea. But even with the aim assist off completely, it's harder to shoot well with an analog stick.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder because you have so much less finite movement. A mouse you can gear to, like, mine is at 800 DPI, and that's high for me. Like, I move my hand like all the way across the screen to like rotate 90 degrees, and that means that I have so much more fine detail in my shooting than someone with a joystick.
Yeah. So I'm gonna jump in on that and say that I'm sitting at roughly around 2,400 DPI on my mouse.
Right.
And having my game settings literally set to 0.6.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
0.6.
Yeah.
Everything else, like, you can go in through like what individual scopes you want to use and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. That you can individually set as well, so you can get finer tracking.
Right.
But
yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have so much more fine tracking though than a joystick in general. Just like anyone, that's just how it is. Like, as much as a console player can enjoy playing on a console shooting, that's great. That is your choice. It is going to be harder to hit very fine shots on a controller. It just is.
I feel more comfortable on controllers. So
right, yeah.
Well, that's me. I play on controller.
I literally
for that
have
stuff too.
never owned a PC up until March of this year, and same with Kyle.
Right. And
we
I
are
switched to PC.
Console players, so
yeah, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think that there is a huge disparity, and giving it like essentially an aimbot.
I saw Kyle say, "Oh, we're showing other controllers." Okay, sorry, I got one.
I just have a black
got
one.
the great Logitech that jams all the time.
Yes.
I was just showing we have the same. We have the same blue one.
Hang on,
I was
guys.
showing you. Yeah.
Hang on, guys.
I saw that you have the same one as me, except I don't have the blue. But anyway,
I've got this. I think I can do it.
Yeah. I have my little.
Okay, thank you for the sub, dear.
Yes,
but anyway,
thanks for the sub, Jax. Thank you.
Like,
so
I just feel like
the reason why I brought that up is, and good morning, Jax. Thank you for the resub. Is exactly what Triangle and Legend were saying. Like, it is so hard to play shooter games. Let's back it up. Sorry, Legend hit it like right on the head with it. Aim assist was created because FPS with controllers sucked ass. It was absolute trash, and it was a nightmare to play. You take that going to a computer where it runs through Bluetooth, or in some cases, if people still play wired, you can see a significant difference between the two controllers.
Oh yeah.
Because I have when I played Call of Duty, it was always a wired controller.
You have a wired controller.
But then, like when I played Doom or anything else like that, it was always a wireless controller. But when I play Apex, it's mouse and keyboard because BR games require that precise, nit when you want to pop people from far away. But when I play Halo on PC, it's always back to the controller because the aim assist on it is just it's too hard to give up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be the first to say that,
Well, and it is hard to give up. I mean, like I played on console for a long time. I switched to PC in college. And that's when I started getting into like Overwatch and more competitive shooters, like team-based shooters. But it is hard, and it's not like the aim assist isn't a bad thing for controller players. I don't think it's something that we shouldn't have or whatever. Like it works for controller players. The problem is when you put a controller player up against a mouse and keyboard player. Because there is just it's too different, and I understand crossplay is exciting. Don't do it in a competitive setting.
Definitely not competitive.
Do it in like a general setting.
You are going to create a massive divide for this game if you do this in a competitive setting. Even if it goes through to esports and people are sitting at a PC playing with a controller, they're going to be like,
there is no way someone in like the esports range is going to be able to do that. Unless the aimbot is wild. Not aimbot, the aim assist is wild.
Aimbot. Bog down standard aimbot.
Yeah, fair
enough.
But
Apex, this is Apex sitting here trying to crack down on people using aimbot in cheats.
So I think when you do stuff like that, I think it's very important. I want to say Call of Duty started it when they did their cross-platform, where they would list people as keyboard users, as controller users, and then you can pick if you want to play against both people or against whatever peripheral you're using. So
you can do this with Apex.
Well, what I'm saying is I think Call of Duty did it proper. Is what I'm saying when they came up with that concept. Forgive me if it's not Call of Duty who came up with that, but that's the only one or the first one I can remember that did that. So then when Halo went to cross-play, they were like, yeah, let's copy that. And then when Apex did it, they're like, yeah, let's copy that. And I think that is a fair way to say this is the proper way of doing this type of gaming. So when Apex came out, they're like, hey, let's do a tournament based on this. And it's like, let's take all that shit that we worked on for 4 years and throw it out the window. And see how stupid and chaotic it can get.
Just not doing that.
What do you mean?
They're just like it. So I'm sorry, I don't know as much about Apex specifically. So with this tournament style, are they like they're just smashing all controller and keyboard players together?
Correct. So when they were doing the tournament, you had to be keyboard and mouse. There was no controller tournament in this whatsoever. So this season, they're like, let's do both.
Why didn't they just do a controller one and a keyboard mouse one? Like, why would you start with that nightmare?
And then if people wanted to see that kind of concept, they could put like the top ranking people together at the end and see what happens.
Like, here's the thing. I feel like if you want to do that, you do it like a little bit at a time. And you would think they would want the numbers for just controller versus just keyboard and mouse. Because like a heavy tournament with both of those could actually give you some statistics to put them together. And
Luke said it really well. Toxicity between the players is going to boom skyrocket because it's going to be like
there's already that in the game already. There's already people playing against controller people and be like, why the fuck are you playing the game when you've got aim assist?
So we're talking about specifically Apex right now, Coffee. How they're doing their second season tournament and combining both keyboard and mouse and controller players in the same bracket, and then allowing controller users to use an extra 5% on their aim assist.
Don't you feel like every shooter's already toxic enough?
Right?
I know.
Like, why do something to make it even more toxic that people aren't going to want to play?
So for you guys, like Kyle, for Kyle and Ant, how would you guys feel like First of all, is there keyboard and mouse for Gears of War if you're playing on the computer? Like, is that an option, or can you only use controller?
I think I've never. Yeah, I think you can do keyboard and mouse.
Okay,
honestly,
so let's.
But I never even tried.
So let's use like Ural's tournaments when you guys go in. All of us can agree that keyboard and mouse is infinitely better for reaction speed on any game that you're playing. Because you can literally 1080 all the way around.
I see it on Sea of Thieves. When Heel plays Heel and I play Sea of Thieves, his guy's running around my guy, and my guy's like, gone.
Yeah.
He's like, bop, 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 bop. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how are you?
So, could you imagine going against something like that in a tournament? Would you You would rage so hard at that because, I mean, it's a handicap.
See, I'll give you a concept because
it really is just a handicap.
Me and Miss Strange were in the firing range. Okay, she's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm standing right behind you." She's like, "What?" I was like, "I'm standing right behind you." She turned around and I was right behind her. She didn't even know.
And it's just
and you can strafe a lot better with the keyboard. Strafing is just like you have an advantage.
Plus you can do the double strafe now.
Yeah.
And having the ability to double tap keys to do any form of dodging on keyboard, whereas on controller, like a lot of the dodge you have to like tap your stick twice.
Oh, that's
and 9 times out of 10 you go the wrong damn direction. Because like you can either like go this way or this way or this way on the analog stick, and you're like, I didn't mean to do that. Like,
whereas you can go like that.
Again, it comes down to the analog stick moves this much, whereas a mouse can move
literally
however
anywhere.
much you want it to. And so it's just amount of space for movement. So your fine movements are going to be centimeters on a controller versus like could be 1.5 feet.
Millimeters.
I know for me, I literally I have about a foot of mouse space. I still slap my mouse against my keyboard sometimes when I'm playing games.
Right.
I can turn my mouse sensitivity up that high where I can just do that, and I've done like 17 160s,
right,
or 360s or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like
I just have such a low DPI.
There's just no
I play on 3000, so.
I have literally no idea how you do that. I have mouse modes, of course, and I have like a slightly higher one. I have 1800 versus 800. I'm like, it's too fast. Sometimes I'll bump it and I'm like, what is going on? I'm in hyper mode. I'm like, oh, I just turned my mouse DPI up.
So on the topic of FPSs, for those of you guys who are interested, Battlefield 1 is free this weekend. On Steam. You can download it, game it, play it, go for it. It's free to play until I think midnight your region time on Sunday. It is.
Guess who's gonna do that?
A really good take on Battlefield. Fight me later.
But
I do think it's really good, and it's worth mentioning about for those people who want something new to play. It is a big game. I think it's like up there towards 60 to 80 gigabytes. So it's a monster of a game to download to play for 48 hours.
Battlefield 1 is a really good game. I've had Battlefield 1 for years. I've completed the storyline so many times. The storyline is based in World War One. It is an amazing concept, and it's so much better than Call of Duty. The graphics are so much fucking cleaner. You shoot a tank against the wall actually breaks. It doesn't just stay there. It's like, oh my god, this wall's indestructible.
Their Frostbite engine is so good. Oh, sorry, and all the expansions for it are available.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's the complete game. On the topic of Battlefield, I also want to quickly touch on that Battlefield Portal. I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend when they announced it. Anything that has happened in Battlefield can be played in this game mode. So you can literally take a World War I airplane up against an F-16 jet.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's
fight
awesome.
it. I think that concept,
like chaos, and I love it.
That concept in and of itself is what Battlefield needed for multiplayer. Aside from now being able to play 64 versus 64 people.
Oh yeah.
That kind of reminds me of like when you would play like Empire Earth or one of them games, and like you would like raid someone, and they're still in like the barbarian era. And
You're
like,
over here in the
you're
space
like-
age.
Yeah, like you have the army tanks. You're like, what the hell?
Do you want to know something, Ann?
Uh-oh.
I actually have that game still installed in this PC.
Empire Earth
It's so
Yeah.
good.
is a probably a top 3 game of all time for me. Top
Yeah.
3.
So good.
Also, there is, speaking on the FPS front, there is a free game at the minute on Epic, which is called Verdun, which is also based on
Yes.
World War One.
Really?
That is a first-person shooter, multiplayer game online. They have, I think it's up to 64 to 120 either side.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Like literally World War One guns shooting each other across the map. It is. It looks
Check
like
to
a
see how
really
long
good gun.
it's up for.
Till the 29th.
Till
so
29th, okay. I
Battlefield
knew it was up and I just got it, but I didn't know how long it was.
Battlefield Portal is probably going to be the biggest highlight for me in Battlefield 2042. The ability to time warp literally anything that has happened in any of these Battlefield games into one map is absolute
cool.
pandemonium, and I think that is what Battlefield needed to reach. Personally, I've always thought Battlefield was better than Call of Duty. Like,
Yeah.
just the realism in Battlefield and any of them, even the future ones, blew Call of Duty's games out of the water, even the future Call of Duties. And being
I've always thought Call of Duty is a little bit overrated. I think it's just a hype train of people
I would give you
that want
that.
to play it. I mean, I don't think the game has changed that much since Call of Duty World at
That's
War.
what I've heard a lot about COD.
So
I don't know nearly as much about both of those.
Call
games.
of
I've played
Duty,
both
in my
of them,
opinion,
not a lot.
changed a little bit when it went to Black Ops, and then
You could say, yeah, Black Ops.
because I say Black Ops because the hitboxes
Then they
became annoying.
Zombies.
The
Yeah,
zombie
zombies, all that
mode,
stuff.
and then the guns were
Everyone
dialed
did a
down.
zombie mode then. It was like that was the era of zombie mode.
Yeah, that was when you
Thanks,
had
Walking
all. Yeah, I was gonna say you had all
Thanks
this
to
zombie
Left
stuff.
4 Dead.
You had all the zombie
Left 4
stuff
Dead.
out here, and then Call of Duty's like, we could do that too. Boom!
Yes.
Here's a game
Yeah,
mode.
I mean, Left 4 Dead really created that genre
Mhm.
of team versus environment styled shooter. They really did. That was kind of where it started. If I watched like a little history thing.
Sorry. Speaking on zombies, Dead Space got an announcement
I
of
heard
a remake of it. Well, I don't know.
I
I don't really know if it's a remake or just an HD upscale of it, but
I was wondering when you were going to bring this up.
yeah.
Dead Space is one of my all-time favorite games. Very few. I consider it a horror, like the original Dead Space.
Oh yeah, it's a horror game.
The original Dead Space, like 2 and 3 was more actiony, and it just had creepy stuff in it. But the original Dead Space encapsulated the OG Resident Evil feeling of point and shoot, and then they took it to the next level with run while you point and shoot. And that is a very hard thing to do. And then they took the typical shoot them in the head thing and were like, nah, just blow off their arms and legs, and that's how you kill them.
Right, they came up with, or that not came up with, but they used like the
The
cutting
mining
apart
laser
mechanic.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was playing that game. I remember sitting in one of those. You guys remember those chairs that would sit on the ground that were like rockers and they had like the speakers
Yes.
right here?
They're like
Yep.
they're like they're like one piece and they're like a little J.
I was going to say, you don't have to
You're
stay
muted,
muted,
wait.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Sorry, my one buddy had that, and I used to go to his house purposely just to sit in it.
Just sit in the
It's
chair.
terrifying.
And it was his. I'm like, no, you ain't sitting in it. I am. It
But-
was terrifying.
I
Let me shit
remember.
myself in your chair.
Why does that not like surprise me at all? Why-
That's a typical
Why-
Kyle thing.
Why is that so Kyle right there?
But I think having that game upscaled, and I think they've changed like a little bit of the stuff in it to make it more modern, will also help with it. But the trailer in and of itself, I was expecting a Dino Crisis because it was black, and I was listening to it without sound, and then I saw Isaac pop up, and I was like, oh, this is cool too. But I watched it again with the sound on, and the Twinkle Little Stars song was just like gave me chill bumps, and I was like, I am so ready for this. I don't know when this game's coming out, but I need it now or yesterday, whichever one. But
as soon as physically possible,
Right.
please. So I actually never finished Dead Space. I played it in college with my friends. It was like a big group game thing. And we had one person playing and like everyone watching kind of around in couches. But yeah, horrifying game. And just like phenomenally good at getting that aesthetic. Because not only is it like a big spooky thing jumping out at you, it also has that like aliens, like sinister but quiet,
like Ripley feeling to it almost.
Yes. Yeah, it's very like it really nails its aesthetic.
So I also think it did really well with the sound effects. I can't remember if Fear came out first or if Dead Space came out first. I don't remember which one happened. I want to say it was Fear.
Yeah, Fear came out.
But Dead Space really took those sound effects and just took it to the next level. Like a can could drop and literally scare the shit out of you because you don't know what's going to happen next. And then you hear all of that like grumbling noises or the people off in the distance that are still survivors being like decapitated or like chopped apart or whatever. And you're just like, what is going on out there? It sounds like it's over here to my left. And then you go right and then there's something in your face. And you're like, all right, we're going left. Towards the spoopy sounds. We don't want to mess with that necromorph over here. That's scary. But I am so excited for this game. That's what I thought.
Sorry, I had to look it up. Yeah, Fear 2005, Dead Space 2008.
Yep, that's what I thought was Fear first.
So, just taking a step away from Dead Space at the minute, like, I know a lot of people like free games and stuff. So, does everybody here have the Epic Store?
I haven't installed, but I typically don't play stuff on it.
No, I know, I get that. I do get that. And, I mean, like, so this is going to go back, this is kind of like a two-parter thing. So, like, I literally just go on the Epic, have a look at the free games. I'm like, that could be good for a stream. So I can click it, install it, play it on a stream, maybe have 3 streams out of it, and then I'll install it and probably never play it again, unless people want to see me play it again. But like, does anybody miss the day and age where you could literally just have it on your desktop and just click it?
I don't remember who it was, but I was having this talk with somebody. I was going to say, I think it was us because I was talking about Warcraft 3, where it's like you just throw that disc in there and then just click that icon and go.
Like does anybody else miss this, or is it just me where you have to now have a platform to play a game?
Like the
Steam,
launcher?
Whether it be EA,
you need like the Epic launcher or whatever. So I agree with that. Just the old CD feel is so nice, but it's also I have a whole thing on this. I always get worried about subscription service stuff. I don't like not owning my own things.
Yeah.
So if I can have a hard copy, I want it. That's just like a big one for me. Like if I can get a physical copy, I want that. I prefer that.
Absolutely.
That's my biggest fear with like Game Pass, because I don't know how it works, right? If Xbox removes Sea of Thieves from Game Pass, am I screwed? Like everything 100%. I've done, am I screwed?
Well, your save files will still be there.
Yeah,
your save files will still be there, but then you have to
go buy it for $40.
So then you have to go. Then you'll have to go to a different place to go and buy the actual game.
Well,
and then
yes and no. If you go to a different place, you will no longer have your save stuff.
You're
like
right.
If you go to Steam, game over. You have to restart.
You have to go through Microsoft.
Yeah, there is a way. There is a way to install it. Your save files in Steam.
Well, I mean, like for the average Joe, like it's.
Well, yeah, okay, for the average Joe, then yes, but like
it is
coming
more
from us,
than just
if you need any tips to get your save files, if you've lost something from one place and you've bought it on a different place, hit one of us up. I'm sure we can figure it out.
Welcome in, Triangle.
Welcome, buddy. But like, I just thought it like, did anybody else miss the fact that you're having to enter that CD key?
So
and as soon as you get one letter wrong.
So Legend says, I'm glad we don't hold on to crap anymore. So thank you for the resub, Triangle. I think maybe for the majority of us, it might be a nostalgic type thing. If we really want to sit back and think about it. Like we grew up with hard disks, we grew up with, save files on USB sticks or memory cards and all that stuff. And you take all that away.
I want my CDs.
It's like you go over to your buddy's house and you just throw in your memory card and then all your shit gets deleted and then you're like, I hate you, I'm never talking to you again.
You guys remember, do you remember that? I don't know if it was. I think it was Sony, the Sony commercial, the sharing games with your friends.
Yep.
On with the backlash of, I think it was Microsoft, who like wasn't allowing people to share games because of their specific. Oh, so good.
I remember that very well.
I was just thinking that, like, how to share games with your friends, and he just like hands him the disc, and he's like, ta-da! That's it. But yeah, I part of me also likes the fact that I don't have to have as many physical games.
Right, because I mean, for people like me in Asylum, we have like literally 600 games in our Steam library alone.
Right, yeah, like me too.
So if we have to go, like, myself being OCD would have to alphabetize all that shit. I would probably murder anything I looked at that point. But having to go pull stuff out of like something, like out of a wall. I mean, you see those streamers who have like those big cases in the background or whatever, and you look at all of these game cases, and like, I can guarantee you all that shit's empty. First of all, you don't have all those discs. That's coming from somebody who owned a store that had all those discs. Guaranteed you don't have those.
Yeah, that was all alphabetical.
But
I miss putting a disc. Well, you know, obviously the console, right? Just you take your cartridge and you pop it in, and bam, you've got a game, right? And big nostalgia factor there. For me personally, I miss put the CD-ROM in and listen to it spin up.
Oh, PlayStation's zzz. It's like, it could blow up, or we're gonna play a game.
Did anybody else chip their PS1?
What do you mean? Like the little black disc thingy that? Oh, never mind.
No, where you could literally have a different disc reader in your PS1.
I did not.
And it would actually read pirate games.
Yes.
Did you do that?
I wasn't a Rebel Breaker back then.
Oh, I did.
So Moon not recently, a while ago, did a PS3 stream. That's probably the closest I've ever gotten to an open PlayStation.
Oh, where he broke it apart and rebuilt it?
Yeah.
That was a good stream.
He wanted to put new paste on the CPU, but like it's cement now, so he needs to kind of work on that. But he did a couple of other things, added a couple of like a new memory thing. I did a couple of whatever. He just put some stuff in there and it works.
Oh, the thermal paste and the tape and stuff?
Yeah, did some thermal paste. It did some like cleaning in there. Basically just wanted to give it a little update. But that's like the closest I've gotten to an open PlayStation. But really, once you open them up and, you know, void the warranty, which, you know, some of them, especially like PlayStation 1s, it's like, it doesn't really matter anymore. But getting in there is not terribly hard if you know how to build a computer.
Right.
And I feel like nowadays a lot of consoles actually have a little bit of a higher worth when they can be a little bit modded.
Absolutely.
Because you're now getting to the point where the internal batteries of, granted, this is not CDs, but like when you have cartridges, like some cartridges die, and they're
unexplainably die. Might I add?
Yeah, they do sometimes. Yes, they do. Oh, do you have a personal?
Oh, I do. I do.
Oh no.
So here's why I don't like Donkey Kong. By the way, Asylum.
Here comes the story.
I had the yellow Donkey Kong cartridge, and I was like, this game is amazing. I played all the way through it, and it's one of those games I would revisit time and time again just to go, you know, muck around and have fun. And that was when that stuff was saved either on your memory card that you went into the N64, or I think Donkey Kong saved partial data to the cartridge.
Yeah, some of them have internal data.
Right. So that part of the game died. Or that part of the cartridge died. I could play the game. But it was always from level 1.
Wow.
No,
I cannot tell you how infuriating that is as a gamer. That is literally replaying the shittiest part of a game over and over and over again, to the point where you're like, I'm going to leave this on, and then your N64 dies.
Okay. When I was a kid, there was a time we had a PS1, and I don't know what the circumstance was, but we did not have a memory card with it. Okay.
Right.
Now, I played Legend of Dragoon through
That's a good
disc
game.
2 by never turning off the PlayStation.
That's a 4-disc game too, by the way.
Yeah.
That's how. See, this is how beastly these consoles were built. They were built to be just
They were little
fucking
tanks.
left on. Not even bothered about worrying if it's gonna explode in your face or not.
It's
Like
fine.
if you like now, you're like, shit. If I leave my PC on for the 3rd day in a row, I'm gonna fry fucking something. I'm gonna have to fucking shut
If
this
I
bitch
look
down
at
and
my
start
phone,
this.
it's gonna explode.
Like you leave the new Xboxes on for like more than, I don't know, idle, might I add, for like 8 to 9 hours. It's like
It
you
turns
get,
itself off.
yeah, it turns itself off because it knows it's going to explode. It's like
I'm
my
not
components
fast.
can't work. Sorry, we're taking a nap.
I need about a
Yep.
day now. Thank you.
Yeah, and then if you try to play this system within 24 hours of it turning itself off like that, it's gonna be like, we're gonna stutter, your frames are gonna suck ass. I'm gonna remind you every minute of this game that you should have only done
ready?
this.
Left my ass off.
Yeah. But Zero does. I will have to agree with you on Zero. Going back to you, Triangle. Legend of Dragoon is arguably
Yeah.
tied for Final Fantasy VII as
Out.
best
Graphically,
JRPG.
I'm gonna have a really hot take right here that a lot of you guys are gonna be really upset about me.
I've never played
for,
Final Fantasy.
I have never played Final Fantasy
I
VII,
knew it was going to happen.
and I also don't like the Final
I'm the same.
Fantasy series. I'm sorry. I'm
the same.
Y'all, I gotta go.
Well, here's the thing. I think they're great games. I think they are incredibly important in game history,
Oh yeah.
so on and so forth. I have just never cared for them. Like, even I've tried to watch favorite streamers of mine try playing them, like, and they
Yep.
love them. They're passionate about them. They're
Yep.
playing well, and I'm just kind of like,
Meh.
So
I played one Final Fantasy game one time, and it was a bad one. So
I tried it for like 2 days. Like, so I was at my friend's house when we were like young, before teenagers, right? I think it might have been Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation. I don't know.
okay.
Whatever game was on
dunk on
PlayStation.
this game.
So no. So like, I was so into it when he was playing because he knew what he was doing that I went out and I bought the game for my PlayStation.
Oh.
And 2 days into it, I was like, still didn't know what I was doing. I was like,
Listen,
all right,
I
I'm
love
done.
RPGs.
Gave up.
Slower.
I do
Slower.
love them. Yeah.
There you go.
And look at that.
Oh.
Try again. And...
That's directed at my webcam, by the way, not the audience or any viewers.
Oh, I'm offended. Oh, what
Thanks,
am I supposed to do?
webcam.
Um,
No, but yeah, I love RPGs. I do. I really enjoy RPGs. I do not like the Final Fantasy series. I don't. know
so
why.
I'm throw my bit in here. I have never played Final Fantasy. I'm like Toddle. Watched people play it for hours on end, and it's just like, I'm never gonna get into this. I'm just not gonna get into it.
that is one typical JRPG style format of games.
And I like
like
RPGs.
all of them run well. To me, JRPG and RPG are drastically
Very different.
different games.
Extremely different. Yeah. No, I
Um,
like JRPGs. I just don't like Final Fantasy. I just have never gotten into it.
So,
I mean, I think Lord of the Rings was better than Final Fantasy
what do you mean? Like,
on PS1.
Yeah,
I don't
PS1 game.
think I played that
Wait.
one.
You could actually switch between Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Playing that. I remember.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You could literally play all the way through to
Mm.
Minas Tirith.
That's like a Dark Cloud style.
Yeah, it was
Like,
really,
like,
really good,
Rotate characters.
and it was very frustrating as well.
Yeah, I don't remember playing that one. I know I played one on Xbox, and I think it was called The Two Towers. I think.
This was just.
But you could swap between each person on that one too. So I don't know, or maybe it was on GameCube. I don't know, but I think because of Final Fantasy, you have a lot of those games that came out of those. I think I feel like kind of what Spooky's saying. I think like stuff like Monster Hunter and stuff like that originated conceptually from stuff like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, okay, I can
Yeah.
give you that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're incredibly important. They're so important. Like, they did create a huge like plethora of games. They gave all these great ideas and story and like thoughts and mechanics to a ton of other games. I just have never, like I recognize that they're incredibly important though, and I want to get into them, but I just never had the draw.
It's honestly, I think if you're going to go to those turn-based Final Fantasies, it's too late to get into them. And the reason why I say that is because that play style has come and gone. Turn-based stuff like that ultimately has come and gone.
I do like playing Golden Sun, actually.
Oh, okay.
I do like
another.
Yeah. I do like the game Risk.
Wow, that's literally the epitome of turn-based.
I also don't like Risk.
You said turn-based, but would you not sit down and have a game of Risk with your friends?
No.
Why not?
I don't like Risk.
It takes far too long.
Yeah.
Okay then.
My attention span for that type of stuff is just.
Okay. But you're talking about turn-based games, right?
Right.
Technically, Dungeons and Dragons is a turn-based game.
You're right.
Each player has a turn base.
You are 100%
You are correct,
I
but for me, that is different from playing a video game.
No, I get that, but like if Dungeons and Dragons made it to the computer,
they did. It's Neverwinter Nights.
They did. It's not turn-based.
Yeah, but they've done it. They've done it through turn-based. You wouldn't play it
right now. No,
I would. No, I would.
I wouldn't play it right now. No.
Why?
You've got Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, there's
But that's fast-paced turn-based. Like if we're going to original turn-based stuff such as Final Fantasy,
hours on end. Like
I
turn-based
wouldn't
stuff.
like even if for the sake of argument, if we go to Baldur's Gate, I can't play that game more than 45 minutes to an hour anyway, because when I play games that are sci-fi based or something like that, it has to be nonstop, like action, and I can sit down and play games like literally like from 7 a.m. until I go to bed. I will play a game that long, like one game.
But I've seen you play Halo.
Yeah, it's
things like that for hours on end.
Something like XCOM.
Yeah, I was gonna say Other Side.
Yeah, Other Side. Yeah, because those are also turn-based. And I mean,
by the way.
It's a good game.
What? Other Side?
Awesome game, yes.
Or Sid Meier's Civilizations.
Oh, I cannot play that game. Like
So
I will
either.
literally play it like one-on-one, like against the AI. But since you hit like those big like 20 people playing that game, I'm like, nope, I'm done. I am not sitting through this shit.
Again, I'm in the same boat. I think Civ again, very important game. Good, like it's a good game. It's just not my style. And it's fun because like I do play Dungeons and Dragons. I love board games. I don't like Risk. Just not my style. I also have a thing when it comes to non-cooperative games. A turn-based game for me either needs to be like RPG style, like traditional, just me against a computer, or if I'm playing with people, I want to be cooperating with them, which is why D&D is my style and Risk is not.
So like, I don't know. For example, I'm throwing a crap ton of dice on the table right now. I'm going back to my youth, which is like Warhammer 40k tabletop.
Oh, I love Warhammer.
So Foon loves Warhammer.
See, I'm the same. I went from Lord of the Rings stuff to 40k.
40k, yeah.
And then I went and got went and got the 40k games.
And we're severely disappointed.
The computer, and I was very disappointed by them because the graphics were shit.
So I guess for clarity's sake, turn-based stuff, for the sake of the argument, that overarching playstyle for the majority part of gamers has come and gone. Yes, I will acknowledge the fact that you have XCOM and Other Side and stuff like that, but if you look at the amount of gamers that has, whether it's through Steam charts or analytics on Twitch or whatnot, very small number of gamers are actually playing that game now. But that doesn't incorporate, not being attached to those. So
I mean, technically in chat, Captain Spooky's right as well. Pokemon
Pokemon,
based.
yeah, duh.
Well,
Pokemon.
I don't
One of
play.
my favorite.
I don't
one of
play
my favorite series
Pokemon.
of all.
So
I'm obsessed with Pokemon.
A lot of people do.
You're right,
Well, so
but it's
that is
also because a lot of these people are either kids and they're playing it for art style who don't really know what they're doing, arguably, is my opinion on that.
A lot of people.
Or
This
you
is
have,
where-
or you have nostalgic people, like probably the rest of this panel, who are playing it just for the sake of playing it because it's Pokemon. It's one of those
So-
super IPs. Again,
Did you not play it as a kid?
I absolutely played it as a kid.
Did you get taught how to do it properly?
Yeah. Well, no, I
So
did not
then
get
you
taught. I played it by myself and learned. But
Yeah.
Okay, but you kind of get the same gist. You're playing these games and you're getting taught by the other person as well, because some of the stuff you don't know yet. And then this is where you can teach your kids how to do this, and it gets them away from what kind of we're doing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Like
You-
you're gonna
you get
moan at your kids for you're on the computer too long, you're doing this, but yeah, I sit and play the computer far too long and whatever else. And hey, go look. This is a game we used to play when we were younger. Come have a look at this.
So, how about you, Ant? Like, I know you have kids.
Yeah.
Do they play games? And if so,
Just the weird Roblox games. And,
oh, okay.
Paw Patrol on my Xbox. I don't really let her get into much of the. She loves playing Sea of Thieves. She always wants to like get off the boat and do stuff. But I was like, no, because now you're gonna get me killed when I'm trying. Just when I was working. Just when I was working towards Pirate Legend. So I was like, nope, and like I got timed out. Yes. So, I'm like was working towards Pirate Legend. I would have like a bunch of treasure on my boat. So sometimes I'd be like, here, just go do it. But like Minecraft is a big kid game. Roblox is a big kid game. I don't really like her playing Roblox because of the different divisions. And
Toxic as well.
now
Yeah.
she has the headphones.
Egg
and
creeper
she's using-
status on that.
You can't. Well, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can't monitor it as
online
well.
social- It's very
I-
hard.
like,
for young kids.
I get stuff for this all the time because I said it in front of like my parents. I'm like, I'd rather have her play GTA than play Roblox. And they're
Yes.
like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Because GTA. All right, so GTA, I can make her not talk to anyone. I can make her not chat with anyone. I can make her whatever. She could drive around and hit people with cars, knowing that she can't do that. Roblox will teach her things where she might connect to someone who's 42 sitting on a computer in Michigan. And
Yeah,
it's, like,
it's the social aspect.
that's
So
scary. That's
we-
scary to me.
we had talked about that
I
before.
feel safer having my kid watch violence than being on
gotcha.
Roblox. Like,
See, this was the same thing for me with Among Us Online as well.
Mhm.
There's all that language, all that toxicity, everything like that, and my nieces were playing it, and I was just like, nope,
Yeah.
It's
not anymore.
one of those things where like that's I mean as myself as a kid I played God of War, I played Assassin's Creed, like as a younger kid I played like Red Dead, I played all of those, but they were single player games.
Yeah.
Yes, I was getting the content in the games, but that's all I was getting.
Right.
I
And
wasn't
with-
getting
wow, in the
anything,
background.
and it wasn't a social aspect. I wasn't talking to whomever may be on the internet at that time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
saying the
Yeah.
social aspect is bad because look at all of us. Like I've never met one
No,
of
it's
you.
not a
We
bad
play,
thing. It's just
but
you need to
we're
be careful
we're
with
of
it.
age. We're of age where we
Yeah,
are
exactly.
aware of who we're talking to, of our surroundings. I'm going to be very. I'm a gamer, but I'm going to be very strict.
danger.
When my daughter gets online games, like she already got banned from Roblox. First name.
Yes.
Like, like literally kicked off. I had to get her account back.
Wow.
So, because she was playing the game and she doesn't understand that you can't be like, I'm gonna kill you. When she's playing the game, she's chasing someone. Doesn't get it, but she's only 7, so she doesn't just get
So,
the concept of that.
We had talked about it previously and about why for the Roblox stuff.
the
And
adopt me stuff. That's
Yeah,
it's just
like,
scary to me. It's scary to me. I'm
as-
sorry, it is.
like gamers for us when we grew up, drastically different universe
Oh yeah.
as far as what's happening now. Mainly because online
100%.
play. Like that was very, very, very small world. Like you
But
had,
then we had the other aspect of this, which was MSN.
Oh my
chat service was a little wonky.
No.
and
AOL
dial-up connection.
so-
and
Can I just tell you how old I am? Because my cousins are younger, my wife's cousins. And I said something where I was like, were you drunk last night? She's like 19. And she put ASL. And I'm like, ASL?
What does that
That
even
means-
mean?
age,
as-
sex, location.
Oh,
That's what it
that.
means to us.
Yeah.
It meant to us.
She meant it as hell. So that means as hell now. ASL. I was drunk ASL.
Nope.
Drunk as hell.
That
I
is
said,
not how that
I
means.
said 16 male, New Jersey. I didn't know how to answer back, but like that just shows like the MSN. the AOL Instant Messenger. Like that's what we did. We would sneak in the chat room.
We would sneak. Chat roulette was a dangerous place.
That was the best time drunk at college. Was chat roulette. Was the most fun. But we would be able to access people through text, like chatting. There wasn't like a video call. You weren't hearing people. You weren't. It was creepy.
Really.
It was creepy,
messages,
but it's not as intuitive, I should say, or like not as.
On top of that, you have your
all together.
Where you can change how you sound online and stuff. So like,
you
have your kid. You have your. I don't have kids, so let me preface this whole conversation, so I could be completely wrong. You have your kid playing online. Little kid, doesn't really matter, boy or girl, doesn't matter in this scenario. You have an older person, creepy older person, let's go that far.
Hey, let's go.
Not as creepy as that, but you have this person who could be...
Darth Vader is playing with my kid. This is crazy.
An older male, for instance, pretending to be a younger woman in that type of scenario. And to me, that's creepy to have your kids online playing games with those people who are masquerading around as that same age of a person. Like that's weird.
100% agree with
Right. No, yeah, I agree too. No, exactly. And that was simple, right? 2 seconds. So I mean, again, I also don't have kids. I'm a school teacher. I work with young children. I work with preschool through 4th grade. So they're also into video games. They're also into the social aspect. But yeah, it's very different from when we were kids versus when they were kids. Because like, yes, we had. Yeah, he's just being a bug. He knows I have food, so he's starting to bother me.
I'm driving up. Hold on, you got food? Be there in like an hour and a half.
That's this dog right here. He's like, wait, what do you got there? Is that for me? But anyway, like kids you have video, you have audio, you have like, and not only that, there are ways to disguise your face, disguise your voice, and
your surroundings.
Different, and surroundings. That and also now like people have gotten better at tracking other people. People have gotten better at getting into other people's computers quickly and without detection. So it is a little worrying
especially when you have a kid who doesn't know any better and gives like an address or a local landmark or something.
The internet and technology is such a great thing, but it is so
super dangerous too.
Oh yeah,
it's so scary.
It's like that game. It's like that game that you can play at the minute that some streamers play. It's like that location game where some of these people are literally getting it within like 10, 15 miles from that location. It's like, what the hell?
It's scary because they can pull out landmarks and exactly, like, and sometimes it's for fun, and like it's all about now being able to monitor your kids and teach them how to use the internet, because kids don't have that. Well, they also don't have that sense of who is trying to hurt them.
I will tell you though, kids are so much more aware than I was when I was. Like my 7-year-old is probably more mature than I was at like 12. You know what I mean? Probably now. No, just with what she knows. Like she knows so much. Like she knows like if someone like looks at her weird, she like like
stranger danger.
So like get on my other side and like be like that guy's looking at me.
And even that, like that's because of the internet and being so connected, because not only kids nowadays are they're more aware of dangers, which I guess is like a good thing, but it also is like
sad.
Don't we want kids to just be able to be innocent and not have to worry about a lot of that stuff? And like it is hard to balance that because you want them to be able to be social with their friends, especially on online games. And now with COVID.
Let's go back to like when we were playing. Like this is more specifically for me and you, Tuttle, and probably Triangle. When we played D&D, no problem just walking down the street or walking a few blocks, carrying our bags or whatever to go play, hang out in the basement. You know, have some Mountain Dew and pizza or whatever.
Right.
Now it's like you have your phone. Do you know what number to call? Like it's like I'm going 2 buildings down. Like that's as far as I'm going, and that's all it takes.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, this was like me growing up in a city. I would literally come back up through to Scotland to spend the summer with my grandparents. and it'd just be like, right, I'm going out.
Yeah, that's literally all it took. It's like, I'm leaving.
My nana would be like, all right, well, dinner's at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Come back then. I would literally go and play football from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night.
And
have a £5 in my pocket to go to the shop, which was half-hour walk.
Right.
Come back.
But
play more football,
it's such
go
a
back home for dinner.
generational thing, right? Like that's what we used to do. Like we'd be there's a big field near our house in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
We'd mow it. We'd make it a football field, a baseball diamond. We'd be riding bikes 5 miles away. And at the time, all I had was like, I had nothing until I was probably like 8 or 9. Then I had a pager.
Right.
Where my mom would like you could text on it, like get home. So then I would know to go home.
It's like
My
12
daughter
letters
is
to work with.
My daughter is 6 years old, and I just got her a cell phone.
Oh yeah.
That works. So when she's being babysat or she's with my mother-in-law or my mom and she needs to talk to us or communicate, she can. Like times are just so much different because of technology. Like I said, it's a blessing, but it's also like during COVID, I don't know how anyone survives without FaceTime, right? How does anyone survive without FaceTiming people? Like my kids are used to seeing their grandparents 3 times a week. My brother wasn't in good shape, so we couldn't go see them. So we didn't see them for 4 months. So with FaceTime and stuff, so technology is an amazing thing, but kids are just so much more advanced. Like
they really are. It's
like I wouldn't let my kid go 8 to 10 miles away from the house now.
No.
My parents let me. It's just a whole different time.
And back then, it was just like, it was literally like, be home by the time the streetlights come on or your ass is whooped.
But then, like, this is where you can take the concept of when our parents were younger and they used to tell us stories of what they used to do. They used to like go literally 30, 40 miles away to go to the beach or play in a woodland or
they
do
didn't
whatever.
Have phones, period.
They didn't have phones.
It's like
when the street lights come on, you know you're getting an ass whooping.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I walk in after dinner, I'm not going out for like another week.
And not eating dinner.
What happened?
And you don't get dinner.
I don't know.
So Penny, so for anybody that doesn't know, like Penny and I first met, he was 7 years old. I was early teens. And I remember at one point, you, me, and another friend of ours, neighbor of ours, walking down like for a mile down a 55-mile-an-hour highway to the store, just to go like buy snacks and stuff.
Right, and then go play video games, and like that's it.
Yeah.
And then I also remember being out. Our road did not have streetlights, so what people did is they turned their porch lights on, and as soon as porch lights turned on, it's like, oh shit, I gotta get home. I'm gonna die if I don't.
If I'm not home in 30 seconds, I'm getting the belt.
So I was like very different with that as a kid. I had like a very different experience just because I, like all of my friends up until 6th grade were hours away from me. So I actually was more on the like not walk around side because I went to a private elementary school / elementary middle. It went to 6th grade. I don't know. But it was both of my parents worked an hour away from our home. So it was like they can't let me go to this public school because they are both like at least an hour away. One was in New York City. So getting back would be quite difficult if there was an emergency. Yeah, exactly. But yeah. And so I was close to my father's work that was in Pennsylvania, but still like I was much closer there, but that meant all of my friends were super far. So when I got home, what I did was play video games. That was what I did. And I was online as much as possible because I didn't have like the backyard friends like until 7th grade. Once I hit 7th grade, I had a friend who lived across the street, and I also had to cross. It wasn't a highway, but it was like an incredibly busy 2-way street that people would like fly down like 70 or so miles an hour because it's just straight.
But
and
it was strange though, like that you could that you were allowed to cross that street.
Oh yeah,
like
no,
that's
exactly.
like to me, like
and
now
that's one of those like
so
busy
different.
highway style things where like I was totally allowed to do that, and it was fine.
Your parents like
let me get a,
look both ways.
They let me get a moped, and I live in a summer town. My OBS, like Scott Stapp is singing in my ear. Thank you for the follow, whoever. I'm setting up my OBS for the charity stream, and so like my parents let me get a moped when I was 14. I live in a summer town where there's thousands of cars. Like you're pretty much putting me on a motorcycle, like that goes 40 miles an hour onto the street. If my kid asked for one, I said, hell no, call Uber. Like I'm not. Like,
Or you better learn how to teleport.
Yeah.
It's such a different time, and I get it, and I think that's why our generation has a better social grasp on things because we were allowed to get out, make mistakes, and catch an ass beating.
Yeah.
And now the kids are smarter than us, but socially they aren't, and they have no street smarts whatsoever.
So,
It
Kyle,
is vastly different.
Triangle asks, what's the craziest thing you were allowed to do as a kid that you'd never allow your kids to do if you had kids? Oof. The OOF. Oof.
I was the most troublemaker kid in the entire world. Like, I got the belt. I can't even count you how many times.
You and me
To the
both.
point one time where it's like, okay, we're using the other side of the belt to make sure you learn. So, like, the metal side. So, because there was one night where I was playing, I was so into street hockey at one point that it was beyond the lights. I think it was closer to 1 a.m. I was outside, and I was like 12 years old. So, yeah, what I wouldn't let them do?
That's Canada for you.
I don't know. It's just because it's weird and it's different. I don't know if I can't tell if the world's. I know the world's different nowadays, but my parents would let me like go like bike to the end of town to go get Pokemon cards. I don't think I'd let my kids do that nowadays.
Even with
Knowing how,
technology, like a phone and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, like that's the thing. Like we're looking at houses, and I'm like, I don't want to be near a street. Like I
Right.
grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up in a neighborhood, but literally, if I rode my bike a half a mile, it's Route 9, which is the main highway in anywhere in our township. So I'm like, I don't want to live near a street. And then last night we look, and we're right like near a highway, but we're back in the neighborhood. And I'm like, but look, there's 4
That would be a
streets
thing,
before
too.
the highway. So if they rode their bikes around here, they couldn't get to the
Yeah.
highway. It's
I
just,
think it depends where you live.
it's just weird, man.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it's very.
What's
we had
this
so
is-
much more freedom. We did, and I understand why we had the freedom we do because the world was a whole different place
It was
than it is
like
now.
for me, I skateboarded for like 15 years. Like it was crazy, and this was before we had cars. Well, I mean, we've always had cars, but I meant like a license to
This
drive a
was
car.
when
And-
we had to ride horses to get to the next town.
had to think about it. My
Did you
bad.
grow up in the Wild Wild West?
I had to think about it. So, I meant like before I had a car, just cars in
There's
general.
no transportation.
He's
We
exactly
had to
like
walk.
90 years old.
We had to walk 36 miles to school.
Wow. Wit's
All
over
of
here
us were
roasting me, and
on
she's like, "Yeah, that's how old you are." But we would go into like really busy cities. Like I live by a import-export city. It's a huge city. To the point, I mean, not like New York City big, but you know, for the area, it's a really big city. Like there's all times of day there's it's just a busy road. Like the entire city's busy. And we would just go skateboard in that city. Like I mean, we would, you know, skateboard away from cops, outrun the cops, you know, go damage property.
Yep. You know, no normal things back then.
Yeah, what we did back then doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, and then you take like a they do match. Holy crap, our backgrounds match. Triangle.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys.
That's weird.
Well,
But you know, people out here skateboarding now, it's like, you know, you have to deal with crazy issues that we won't go into with like people in general. But
yeah.
you know, people don't stop when they're driving their car. They just don't stop. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, back then we could go skateboard in the road and people would go around us. And then, you know, flick us off. Be like, what the hell are you doing in the road, you idiot?
But that's because we don't have to.
But now,
I'd be like, fuck you, man.
but
Actually,
now,
have you seen the, go ahead, finish your story.
I was
and
gonna
then
say,
have
but
a
now
little-
people will like just get as close to these skateboarders as possible on the road, roll down the window, and then throw shit at them. It's like,
Yep.
come on, man. Like I can't skateboard on the sidewalk because the kadunk of all the cracks mess up my wheels, my bearings, and my ankles. So
all three of them.
all three of them, and I'm not going to walk because I have wheels. So,
Right, why would you walk in a skateboard?
But yeah, what were you
So
going to say,
have you
Toto?
seen the video? So in New York City, speaking of people who will not move for pedestrian wheeled vehicles. Have you seen the video of a guy who obeys the bike road lane in New York City and
Casey
will
Neistat.
intentionally smash? Like he like did this on purpose.
Yes.
He would only ride in the bike because he got a ticket. He got a ticket from a cop going around a car out of the bike lane, and he was like, "Okay, I'll use the bike lane," and videotaped himself like hitting parked cars, hitting like stuff that was just like trash bin.
They're not supposed to be there.
And he's like, I'm using I'm using the bike lane. Like, what am I supposed to do? Because I'm apparently not allowed to go around things, and people will just put shit in the bike lane. So like, what am I supposed to do here? Just slam into it? Okay, we'll do that. And it was like an hour-long video.
Relatively famous YouTuber, I believe it was Casey Neistat.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, I think it ends with him actually running into a cop car. There's one where he gets like the back of a box truck and he like rolls into the box truck.
He like hits the box truck and rolls into it. He's like, sorry, I have to use the bike lane.
But I mean, stuff like that, it's like comparatively from growing up to what's happening now. I mean, it's stuff that we would never ever think of having our kids go through or do. It's like the crazy shit that we would do, like especially me as a skateboarder. It's like I would never ever tell my kid, it's like, yeah, go out, run that cop, good luck, have at it. Of course, I mean, my mom wouldn't tell me that either. She'd be like, you better sit your ass down on that sidewalk and get whatever's about to happen to you. But, I mean, you know, you look at the times. Times have definitely changed. And I guess to circle back to the original, where we were going with this, technology as a whole online is drastically different for kids, specifically because of, you know, cameras or voice changers or crazy creepy people able to track, you know, every movement on your computer or even the console, because the consoles give off IP addresses. Like all of this stuff is traceable and can literally point somebody to exactly where you live. And that in and of itself, I think, has inadvertently made kids who game online, excluding 12-year-old Call of Duty kids, specifically you guys, fuck you guys. I think you're muted,
kids,
Ant.
go outside.
I shut my mic off because my wife was calling me every 10 minutes. Did we get that? Did they answer our offer on the house? No. Yeah. You will know.
You'll be the first to know.
Running through the house yelling.
Well, she's not here, so. But like literally, like you don't think I'm gonna tell you? I'm just gonna be like, hey, babe, we bought a house. I'm just. You think it's just gonna come up at dinner time tonight?
It'll be a surprise at dinner. Yeah.
When I Kool-Aid man through the wall.
So I used to be the most like when it comes to games, like people, my friends from when I used to play like Call of Duty and Gears 1. They like get on my channel and they're like, man, you're so much different than you used to be, because I avoid the chat now. Before I would go in the chat and wait for people to say, and I would just cut wrestling promos on them for like 15 minutes, just talking shit the whole time. Like the whole time. I don't even care if I'm in last place. You're still getting like shit talk the whole time. The whole time. Like I was the most toxic player. And now as I'm getting older, like I play NBA 2K. I shut off my chat notifications because it's so toxic that people will like hop in our chat and be like, yo, bro, you suck. And I'm like, dude, I'm 33 years old. I'm playing NBA 2K. Like, why do we want to play real basketball? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just so
join join the Discord channel and just say he's watching YouTube.
We're over here. Yeah. Oh my God. If that we got to lock our channels today.
I got
you. But it was just like, it's just so different, even gaming wise. Like gaming back in the day, it was funny to be toxic. You know what I mean? Like it was funny. It was like, and I never got banned or nothing. Like people would talk shit back and forth, and then you would laugh about it. Now it's like super toxic.
I have a personal experience with this recently. Like I was playing WoW the last month actually. I was a tank in a dungeon. So you have a tank. What is it? 3 or 4 DPS and a healer. I don't remember the maximum amount of players, but my healer was sitting in the beginning of the dungeon, not following me, and he would cast like a light heal spell on me, so I would get like just above death, and then I would die, and it was infuriating because I was trying to play the game, and he was healing everybody else but me, and so I just like
Oh, come on.
Chatted him
Bad
in
healer.
chat and was like, "Could you heal me, you nerd?" That's all I said. Immediately, I caught a month ban for calling this guy a nerd.
Wow.
So,
But I mean,
not
that's like-
only did I catch a month ban, I had to change my name because they reported my name as offensive. Penny was my name, P-E-N-Y.
So offensive.
So offensive.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then it got
That's 'cause they're
changed.
broke. That's because they're broke and they can't afford nothing, and Penny's offensive to them. Those broke bitches. Now I'm mad. Now I'm mad at you guys, Penny.
But like it's that type of stuff where it's just annoying. It's like,
You know,
I'm not raging. Like, there's way worse shit I could have gone off and said. And I just
said
called
the
you a
word.
nerd.
but
I
like,
said-
do you not
I
agree
said the
that?
worst shit back then.
You and me
Shit
both.
Do you not agree that when we were playing the likes of whether it be Gears of War,
I was
Halo,
gonna say Call of Duty 4 lobby and Halo 2 lobby, you would like
Whatever.
people nowadays hit that
Oh,
lobby,
God.
murdered.
Yeah.
Your feelings
but, like,
would just be like dumpstered, and then the dumpster would go down the hill and then catch on fire.
it's like we would be toxic, but it's like a moderate level of toxic. It's none of this toxicity that's like what it is now, which is like increased thousandfold.
It's just crazy to think though. Like, Captain Spooky said it best. It wasn't toxic. It was part of the game. That's
Yeah.
what like.
Yeah.
That's what like. You got on to Gears of War to talk shit. Like, it didn't matter if you were good or
Yeah.
bad. You got on to just talk shit to each other. And I think, I also
mother-
think I'm
If
not
your mother
getting.
heard that, she'd whip your ass.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, then you hear like, "Mom, I swear I won't say it again."
And you go back and it's like, fuck you.
Get off that goddamn thing. I'm sorry. Like, you know, but that's the best. But I also think as a society we moved forward, and you know, we're more aware of what we said, and we are more aware of people's feelings and stuff like that. So I think that's also why a lot of us now who used to be toxic and did it as part of the game knows that what we say
Yeah.
could hurt people. So then
Yeah.
you don't say it. Like, it's just for instance, the Chappelle Show would never exist, right?
God.
It would not.
Chappelle Show would not exist.
I wouldn't float nowadays.
Now, even quoting the Chappelle Show would not exist. Like, so I get why it's different now, and people are more like, but the toxicity is even worse than when we played because no
Yeah.
one really got their feelings hurt.
No.
Now people are, I think it's more because everyone's more observant and more
I
in
mean,
tune with emotions.
Like, back when we played shooters and stuff, the worst you could go to is your mom jokes. Like, that was
Right.
what we had.
Right, but that's also the case where like a lot of that like talking shit and whatnot was not necessarily personal.
It wasn't. It
Where
was
I think
just to
nowadays
basically
it's
hear
getting
yourself talk shit.
Incredibly personal, and
No,
like
just
incredibly so.
Now it's just people taking the time to like go stalk you up on Facebook or
yeah.
Twitter or something, and then look at your portrait.
Swatting.
Well, and
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
We weren't
Swatting.
spewing racist rhetoric or any of that shit, right? We were just
Right,
we were talking about you being a trash ass player. Like we weren't
right.
calling you out on race or sexuality or
Right.
anything like that. And that's the problem with toxic now is it's like the more offensive they get, they think they're killing you, and it's like no, you're just being an asshole.
Yeah.
So
different.
speaking of very toxic games, I was a heel main. We've talked about this in a while in League of Legends for a very long time.
Rest in peace, you, because that's me. Can't relate already.
Yeah, no, I was, and like I played a lot of League all through college, and just, I mean, any of you who have played League of Legends, when we say toxicity, that is the first game that comes up for me. Now, I also don't play as many like large base shooters and whatnot, of course, but League of Legends was
Cream of
the
the
most
crop.
toxic community I have ever seen, to the point where like it is notorious for being one of the most toxic communities. And like the second anyone heard my voice, game on. And
boy.
like
It's horrible. It's like
second anyone heard I was a woman, that was it. Oh, it was awful.
I had covered that I think last week for female gamers on Twitter. And it was just like
But
as soon as any like, I guess to compare the two different ones, like previously you heard a female gamer, it was nothing but praise or you're going to get dumpstered on. But now it's just like, but now like in the online community, it's just like, oh, you're a girl, you're just a shitty person just because you were born as that, and it's like.
But let me get something straight away. When we used to play and say we were single and 14 and there was a girl, we're like, hey, how are you?
Yeah,
Right.
it's completely different.
You really get
we're
one
not
or the
trash
other.
them. We're trying to date them. Like, hey, you want to be my,
you
my
really do.
MySpace top 8?
I'll replace you with Tom. I'll do it.
No, but I tell you, I had like a 3-week fling and I got broken up with because I wouldn't let her be number 1 over Tom. No, I got broken up with because Tom was my first friend, so I was loyal to the game. You know what I mean?
He was number one. He supported me before I even supported him.
Right? Yeah, right? Like that's my man right there. You can't make me pick.
Right.
But-
well, and
Cheers,
like
buddy.
going back to just females in gaming and women in gaming, it's so much more like now I feel like nowadays it's always like you have to prove yourself. Oh, you like this? Okay, name everything. You know what I mean? Like
You're a fan of this game? Tell me when it was made and the graphics designer who did this
every
particular
detail.
model.
I don't know any of it, but I'm gonna Google it, and if you don't know it, you're not real.
Name the
And, like,
part-time creator.
exactly. Name every voice actor in alphabetical order, please.
Yeah.
But like
In reverse.
now do it again, but better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very, and even women who can do that, women who are incredibly involved in the gaming community, regardless of what genre it is, they're like, you're not real, you just looked all that up.
You're a
And
grill.
it's-
That's my favorite insult.
The grill.
You're a grill. Are you a girl or a grill?
Both, yes, both. But yeah, like it happens to be that a lot, and it's also like I've played very male-oriented games for a very long time. I tend to play more like adventure-based games, but a lot of them were in like more men would play them than women. That doesn't mean that like women don't play games nearly as much as men. I think it's 50-50 nowadays.
It's actually
If not
women
more
play
women.
more than
Yeah, I
males
was
do
gonna say,
now.
I think it's slightly more women now because they're also not just counting shooters. You know what I mean? Like I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like games as a whole include more than the games that you like to play.
Mhm.
Like being someone who plays video games doesn't mean that you have to play COD. It could be you like puzzle games. I even count mobile game players. You play games, you are in that community, regardless of the difficulty. And I feel like
Just a
that
bug.
also is a big thing because like you get women who tend to play more casual styled games, more puzzle styled games, and you have other communities that are like, oh, puzzle games aren't real. And like puzzle games aren't real games. It's very weirdly gatekeepy. But I feel like that's the bad side of gaming. Whereas like I always try it myself to say like, yeah, you play cell phone games, that's awesome. Do you want to try something new? Because I feel like you might like something, like dip your toes in the water. Why not, right?
Mhm.
And we have to start working to like encourage people to like look at all of the facets of what is umbrellaed as gaming, you know?
I think it's interesting. I talked about this on Twitter extensively. I remember when I played Halo professionally and went in a 1v1 bracket, and I was dominating everything, and I went up to this chick that was in Frag Dolls. And at the time, Frag Dolls, and I think Suicide Girls were the other major competitors in Call of Duty and Halo. She just, like, stomped me. It was the first to 25, and I was 0-25. Like, she ran the map, and then I was just a bystander. Like, that's all it was. And people talk mad shit about, like, even then, you know, women gamers. It's like, have you seen what these women do in, like, professional stances? Like, I would, like, I went up, I shook that chick's hand, and I was like, I hope you win. Like, I thought I was really good at this game, and then you made me look like a fool, and I appreciate that.
Right. Well, and I
Because,
think
like, I mean, I was going to say, it's like, if another a male gamer did that to me, I would immediately be like, fuck you. It's like, you cheated.
But I think it's also just like having that mutual respect, just being a respectful person, and like, regardless, like, yeah, you're the better player. Good job. And I feel like it happens to me so often where I am good at certain games, and I'm aware that I'm good at certain games. It may not be every game, because some games I'm bad at, but like the games that I'm good at, I can run. And when, you know, like when you're a healer in League of Legends and you have your DPS trying to tell you what to do because they think they're the boss, and you're like, dude,
I'm what matters in this lane.
well, like, it's one of those things. I have a great story. Those of you who play League, I was in bottom lane with someone playing, and they would not listen to me. I said, please don't push forward. You're half health. I'm half health. Like, we don't want to push this tower.
We're
and
like,
I'm gonna push tower. Fuck you. Like, whatever. He runs in, first blood. And I was like, dude, why would you do that? Like, please listen to me. And I had, you know, I had sight around the map, and I'm like, hey, Dragon's up in a minute, Baron's up in a minute, let's not push, let's hang back. There's someone coming in, I can see them. And they're like, no, I'm gonna push again. Dies again. Continues to just feed.
No.
And then they start taking it out on me. How dare you not heal me? You're bad at this game. And I said, okay, you have fun in bottom lane.
I'm gonna go top.
I'm gonna go top lane. And Renekton rolled the entire game, became an absolute monster because of me. And he just like carried us to win. And I was like, so did you enjoy yourself down there?
Have fun with that 2v1.
No? Oh, too bad, huh?
Sucks to
But
suck.
like that kind of stuff pisses me off. Just be respectful. If someone's an equal gamer to you, or an equal like status, just like did constructive, like, work together, especially in group games. Like, don't be an idiot.
When I played League, I played Thresh. I was a Thresh main. When the point system finally came out, I had reached 1 million points super duper fast.
Yeah.
And at the time, you could go look at, was it op.gg? I think it's what you can look at stats and stuff. And positive KDA, positive assists, everything like that. And I remember getting somebody who's playing their character for the very first time in lane with me. Like, because that's what League players do. They choose to play new people during ranked matches because that's the best way to learn.
Of course. As you would.
And so I'm sitting here and it's like, I'm the player that would look up other players that I'm playing with to make sure it's like, okay, well, this person knows what they're doing, so I don't have to worry about them. So as a support player, you want to try and help mediate the awareness and skill level on your team. And my ADC was just like troll feeding at this point. And I remember it's like, all right, man, you're feeding a Draven. At this particular time, Draven was ridiculously strong.
Yeah,
first blood, he wins the map. Like, that's all it was. And so first blood, and then second blood, and then third blood. I'm like, adios, I'm going top.
Yeah, that's when you jump ship.
And then you get flamed for trying to go help somebody else out. It's like, your lane's done. Like, it's 3 minutes, you've died 6 times, the math doesn't add up. I don't know how you did this.
And you're against a Draven. Like, you're not coming back from this.
Draven comes into lane with 2 BF swords, and you're like, later, dude. That's a 2-shot. You're done.
Whenever I've seen one. That's it.
And then you go top lane.
You ain't laning anymore. You're just
dying.
dying.
It's like, all right, I'm just going to go power level this Jax now so you can go steamroll everything in the map. And that's how you play as a support. Like, you go, you support.
Yeah, well, like, and I was a support that I had Baron and Dragon mentally timed. I knew when they were up. I did not need a timer.
We're those people that type it in chat. 8 minutes. Boom, done.
Oh yeah. I was on top of it. Like, and I love being in charge. If you can't tell, I like talking and I like being in charge. I'm a teacher. It's one of the reasons why. Like, I had map control. I knew what I was doing. Like, and I wasn't pushy about it. I was like, these are the things that are happening. I'm going to give you all the times. I'm going to give you sight. I'm going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's happening in top lane, who's mid, where the jungle is, because I usually could say, oh, hey, jungler's, starting to come mid lane, probably going to come bottom because we're pushed forward. We should pull back a little. I could predict that stuff because I was aware of how games.
It gets to the point where you're just like, he's probably at this camp because this timer is now up at this camp, and this is where this person's probably.
Exactly.
And then top is like, it's like, all right, top pull back, and then here we go. It's like,
yep.
The jungler enters top lane, and it's like,
surprise. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Told you.
That's how I was. Exactly. Like, I played top 500 for a little while. Like, I was good at what I did, and you get those people who immediately count you out, even if you have all your shit together, just because they hear the voice.
Welcome to the league.
Exactly. And like, it's just that, like, if you take nothing else out of this conversation, it's just like, if somebody is on their shit, just leave them be. Like, why would you ruin that for yourself?
The story of any gamer ever. Doesn't matter any game.
It doesn't matter gender, sexuality. It doesn't matter race. It does not matter. If someone comes in and is doing a good job, don't bother them, and you'll probably do better as a team. And not even don't bother them. Work with them. Surprise.
So I'm gonna stop you right there. First of all, you were talking about League of Legends, and then you said teamwork. We all know that's not how that works.
Yeah, I know. I know. I tried. We tried. It's fine.
So I'm going to hand it over to Ant. He's got some wrestling stuff that I'm gonna some good old wrestling
news. So
drop it on us. What you got, man?
Yeah.
So since the E-Federation world is blowing up, and we are starting to make more and more connections through the E-Federation world, we want to bring them all into the Discord. And it's not just about E-Federations. We're gonna do Wednesday night AEW Dynamite watch-alongs. We're gonna do group chats. We're gonna do SummerSlam watch-alongs. Everything wrestling will be in the Game Lounge Discord under a wrestling category. So we can discuss wrestling there. We can talk about our E-Feds there. We can talk about creations or what we're excited for WWE 2K22, as it's supposed to, rumored, come out in September, the same day as NBA 2K. So
it's being nixed, by the way.
Is that being nixed?
That was a someone who wanted to be funny and make fun of 2K.
Rude.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't care. I want them to take as much time as they need to make this game great. But everything wrestling, as we know, a lot of people in our Discord are wrestling fans. We're seeing the numbers Kyle and I are pulling in when we do our wrestling streams, and we want you to come chat with us. So coming soon to the Discord, you can join the Discord, and we can talk all about wrestling. Do watch-alongs with Kyle and I on Wednesday nights. It's going to be fun.
Especially like with me and Ant, or now, well, I'm starting it soon, but Ant's got it going now. He just started. We have like our own created character kind of universes going off now, and which is featuring some of the people from the disc or from the Game Lounge in it. Yeah. Like Monty is like our favorite character of all time, called the Professor.
Yep. Can't wait for his match tonight. Cannot wait. So what we do is we say Professor facts. So like there's a wrestler, Dean Malenko, who was the man of 1,000 holds. Well, Waldo Winston, the Professor, was a man of 2,000 holds, but Dean Malenko asked to borrow 1,000. So it's just random Waldo Winston facts for Monty the whole time.
That's amazing.
That's funny. But yeah, I'm super excited to bring that type of stuff into the lounge. I know Ant and Kyle have built this up, for a while, individually and together. Each of you guys have your own following for this type of game, and each own following for what you do and whatnot. And it is super exciting to be able to umbrella, if you will, this and give you guys your own reign on everything that you guys do inside the Discord. Whether it's, from announcements or what's going on in the game, or if you want to bitch about the game, because I remember watching Kyle's stream the other day where I don't even know who it was. That guy literally
attacked the same person. I just want to let you know that was crazy.
That guy literally stood in the ring. He said, "Fuck it, I'm out," and then left. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remember coming back, and then Kyle's like, "It's a 20 count." And I'm assuming that means he gets disqualified after 20 seconds.
there's a match with MJF and Tama Tonga, and they did the cutscene. I didn't put it in. They did the cutscene where the bad guy's like, "Screw it, I'm not wrestling you anymore," kind of thing.
Oh no!
But it's a 20 count, right? So when he left, he's just on the stage going back and forth. Every time it got to the 11 count, Tama Tonga would come out of the ring and go back in the ring, and their count would reset itself.
No.
Yeah. So I literally said, "Fuck it," I hit quit match. I'm like, I'm not even watching this anymore.
And he let that go on for like obviously longer than a 20-second count. But I remember it's like I was up. I had Kyle up on the rain screen, so I could be in the kitchen. I would look over and see what's going on. And I would see that guy like in the orange shorts or whatever. And it was like all the way up where they walk in. He's just like pacing around. And then that guy would step out of the ring and step back in. You can see Kyle just getting madder and madder and madder as it was going on. It's like levels of frustration. And then I remember looking over and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I sat down for a little bit. His chat was just like roasting him and the game and that character. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. So I cannot wait to have that type of talks and scenarios going on in the Discord.
It's very exciting. Can I please promote what we're doing in an hour time?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So in 1 hour time, Kyle and I are doing a fundraiser for our Game Lounge teammate, member of the community, overall probably the best person I've met through here. No offense to anyone here.
No, it's fair.
Can be
Literally none taken, because yes.
So Cyber Paladin's wife is battling cancer, as we've said, 2 forms of cancer, and she unfortunately cannot work for a couple months, and she has used all of her time, so she's not getting paid. Cyber has 5 beautiful daughters that he stays home, and he's a stay-at-home dad, works from home,
schools them and everything.
Yeah, schools them, does everything. So I decided that the Game Lounge had to do something, and I ran it by Penny, and he approved it. We were going to do a fundraising stream over on my channel for Cyber. All donations going to him. No subs, no cheers, just donations. If you guys want to sub and cheer, I wish I could shut them off. I don't want them. I don't need them. It needs to go to a great family. So it's going to be a donation. We're going to start with Dead by Daylight. It'll be me, Strange, Kyle, Infinity, and I believe I'm trying to get Asylum to play, but I don't like the game. Asylum, you're going to play. You're not here, so I'm going to talk to you like you're here.
Yeah.
And then, so we're playing Dead by Daylight. Then we're going to do 2 GOW shows, 2 pay-per-views, actually. We have one called Cyber Saturday with an arena and everything. And then we have the created character pay-per-view after that called Ignition, where all the Game Lounge members, pretty much, you can watch them wrestle. And it's going to go on till 10, 11 hours. We have a goal of $1,000. And I just want everyone to come tune in. And if you can't tune in, come donate. Or if you can't do that, just send positive vibes to Cyber and his family. So I think that is important. And we'll be going live here at 12:30. So when you see me disappear at 12 o'clock, you know where I go. It's to go set everything up.
So go ahead, Triangle.
I just wanted to take a moment and add to this. And just, I cannot stress this enough. Paladin is probably the kindest person that I have ever met on Twitch. And I mean, if anybody is deserving, if you want to look at it like that, it's him and his family.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I want to make this perfectly clear. He never asked me for this.
He did not.
This is something that I lost my brother 3 months ago to the after effects of him having childhood cancer. Luckily, he survived for 32 years and beat the odds that he was given. But at the end, the fight was just too much, and he died from the after effects of cancer because dementia and stuff from the radiation, the chemo, and all that. So whenever something like this happens, I always said if I had a voice, no matter how small it is, I would give back. And I think that I know the financial burden. My family went bankrupt when my brother was sick. So I know the financial burden very well. And I know the toll it takes stress-wise and family-wise. And I think that's why, as a community, we need to come together and support someone if we can. You know, we all love subs and cheers. We all love it. I love that you support me, and I'll never be grateful enough, but I'm asking you, don't support me today. Support someone who needs it way more and who deserves it way more. So we're going to put in all of our energy, all of our time. I'm going to be super hyped I know Kyle probably has some giveaways we might do during the wrestling shows. So please, guys, come support, come hang out, and come show love to Cyber and his family. There is a video that they sent me that brought me to tears. I will post that. I might play it during the stream so you can connect to the family, so a name goes to the face of who you're helping and who you're contributing to.
So Cyber is also one of the OG members to the team as well.
Yeah.
He has been there since the inception of the Game Lounge stream team, has always been super supportive of everybody that's came onto the team, as well as people who have left the team for various reasons, continues to go out and support those people and the community as a whole. I cannot put a finger on an instance that Paladin has never stood up and said, I can help with this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Consistently volunteers, consistently is there for you, just like all around.
No matter what's happening during his life. Even now.
No matter what.
Even now, he came to me a couple days ago, maybe even yesterday, I don't remember. Even now, it was like, hey, I know you have a domain for your website, I'll help you build it. And it's like, dude, you have so much on your plate right now. Like, deal with what's going on, and then we can go do that. That just goes to show the amount of care and respect this man has for the community as a whole. Willing to pick up, not an easy feat, mind you, by any means. Very time consuming, and still want to do what he can to help a community. So it is only fair that as a community, I mean, we have, and I'm a little biased, but we have one of the best all-around communities that you can probably find on social media right now. We're not gigantic by any means. I mean, overall 2,000 people. I don't really, you see other communities that are huge, but this man has gone out of his way on Facebook to help people for our group. We have a group on there that's like almost 900 people, as well as a news page that has like 200 people, so 1,100 people on there. He's gone out of his way on Twitter for the lounge and my Twitter, so that's over 1,000 people right there, almost 2,000 people there alone. And he's gone out of his way on Twitch multiple times to go sub to people, give out bits. He's done a couple giveaways, and he has done the best that anybody could do with any given circumstance at any point in time. Yeah. So the man deserves everything under the sun, in my opinion. So, but Ant's got some stuff going on at, I think it starts 12:30 is when you said. You're muted.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just very honored that he even agreed to this. I went to him and asked him if I could do this for him, if we could do this for him, and he was not the easiest person to convince. I want to say he doesn't feel like he deserves it, but as you just heard, all of us say he deserves it more than anybody, and so does his family. Especially being a girl dad. He has 5 girls. I have 2. It connects on the level of, even if I can put a meal on their table one night, 2 nights, that's anything we can do to help. So I'm gonna tell you now, any donations welcome. I put it down to $1, up to whatever you want. Our goal's 1,000. I have faith we'll crush it. So
absolutely.
Let's crush it. And I think Cyber has affected everyone positively here. And if you don't know him, you'll be a better person when you do. That's for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
So that is going on, and it's what, 11-hour stream, 10, 11 hour, 12 hour, I think.
I will literally go until people, like, I can't physically go. If people keep donating,
4 a.m. tomorrow. Okay.
I'll turn into a 16, 18. It doesn't matter. If there's love coming in and there's support coming in for them, I'll go until it stops.
Absolutely. So again, that'll be on Ant's channel. If Ahmad can plug him into the chat there for his channel, it will. We'll actually be rating him. Actually, that's who we're rating at the end of this. So he'll be popping out about 12 and starting it up, getting things together. And when we end at 12:30, we're literally just rating him directly. So you guys don't even have to go anywhere. You just hang out and Rise and Grind and immediately go straight into Ant's fundraiser. So, again, amazing cause, amazing person. unfortunate, poor reasons to be doing it, but
Yeah.
the man deserves everything that we can have to offer as a community. So, it's
I'll be
gone.
there supporting you, dude.
Huh?
I'll be there supporting you.
Absolutely. I know all of us here on the panel will be.
Yeah, 100%. Even if we've got shit to do, just leave it tabbed, guys.
Mhm.
Even if, like you guys watching now, if you could just leave it tabbed, even that is a big help to us. Because the more people we get in, the
It'll
more
be on
love.
the page.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could
Yep.
be on the main page, and then
Yep.
you never know. Mr. Beast could stop by, right, Penny?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I love those tweets, by the way. Before I love reading each day and what you would put in the tweet.
Oh, where I was attempting my way at roasting him.
How many days did you get up to in the end?
I almost went to 60 days.
With
They
Like
were
consecutive days.
They were hilarious to read.
I think that the fact that he stole your idea is the reply.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watched his video the other day, and he actually said he's going to stop doing that for streamers, just as a whole, supporting them, like going out and YOLO donating to them. He's like, this is boring for me. I was like, must be nice.
I'm glad throwing lots of money is boring for you.
Yeah, like his last one was making streamers play rock, paper, scissors. But like, he would go on to one and be like, paper, rock, or scissors. Or
Wow,
paper,
check
rock, or
this one.
scissors. And then whoever won would get like $3,200.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, huh.
Wow.
Must be nice. Thanks for the bits, Franco and Legend. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, it's gonna be a blast for what Ant's doing. I can't wait. And Triangle, thank you. So to circle back to game news, I had two things I wanted to cover before we like just jumped off the cliff into N64 stuff.
Whoops.
So for those of you guys who play Splitgate, I know I've seen a couple of you guys in the Discord playing it or on stream playing it in the lounge. They are having a crossplay beta that's coming out soon, and they're also upgrading their AWS for hosting. The max that they could do is 65,000 people, so that's why a lot of the people were having troubles getting into it. Amazon could not host their stuff. Like, there were so many people trying to play at once that their limit was reached, so they capped it, and it was disconnecting players. So it was not due to what a lot of people were saying was the devs trying to squash their own game, which is asinine. Like, that is literally the dumbest thing I read this week. A lot of people that could not connect to the servers were getting upset that they couldn't connect to the servers, so they blamed the devs. It's like, devs do not control this. It is the host that controls that stuff, and in this case, it was AWS. And they never anticipated their game to get this big. They honestly did it. They came out on Twitter. They're like, thank you guys so much for the support that you guys have shown us. We did not anticipate our game to get this big.
I feel like most developers don't think about how big their game's gonna be, and then when their game blows up, they're like, what?
Yeah.
Right.
They get all excited. I mean, it's exciting, but it's not something that you expect.
Right.
I feel like.
And so they are in the process of upgrading their sockets for the AWS to increase players to be able to play. So their goal is to be able to have concurrent 65,000 players through matchmaking.
That'd be great.
As opposed to like 30,000 at this time and then 30,000 at this time and then so on and so forth. That's the minimum that they can do with their program that they're running now for their AWS is 65,000 max. So once you hit that, that's when you're going to enter like that queue time that a lot of MMOs have, specifically New World right now for their one server that they launched with at the time, which I remember it's like, I get to play 35-minute queue time. And it's like, I'll play later. But yeah, so the other thing is Knockout City Season 2 launches soon. They have new maps and balls detailed. You can find that on YouTube as well as PC Gamer. I've never played the game, but I know it's super duper popular right now, and it has just blown out of the charts. Like any chart that it could be placed on has just massacred that chart. So those of you guys, I think I've seen a couple of people in the Discord play it or posting about it.
Also, Penny, Ant, and Tuttle, posture check and triangle. Posture check. Stretch it out.
What?
It's not redeemed, but I'm just telling you to do it because we've all been sitting in the same position for like the last 2 hours.
I sit cross-legged.
And I just stretched and it felt so good.
I did just get up a moment ago. So, but
Okay, you're good then.
Well,
Asylum, you look comfortable as hell, so I didn't.
I mean, yeah, I've actually just been downstairs to let the dog go.
Well, there you go.
So.
And
Notice how much taller I got after that.
and I do want to mention what Legend was saying. When I think New World launches the 31st of August. I think. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. I know it exits beta on the 2nd. And typically when that stuff happens for MMOs, they have about a 3-month time span that the game's actually launching. So if it is launching on the 31st, I would love to create a guild or clan, whatever they call them in the game, for the lounge. And grind it out and have a super guild going. I would love to take over a territory and then just have everybody within that territory called loungers. I mean, it fits, right? Okay, so it is labeled for release on the 31st, but we also know how labeling goes on the street dates versus the this is when we want to launch. So, do we have to do the snake dance? Yes. Okay. I don't know what that is, but yes.
My God! Don't.
It was spoken.
Rolling around on the ground.
Don't.
Oh, when I was doing that.
Don't go.
That was the funnest thing. Like, I wasn't streaming when I did this. I was. There's a city that has a fountain in the middle, and you have what's called in FPS games dolphin diving, where you run full speed and then you just dive onto the ground and then crawl. And I started to crawl around this fountain, and I had literally about 15 or 20 people just like get down and start crawling around the fountain and following me. It was the greatest thing. I literally turned around, Wit is like, "It's happening! I'm doing it!"
I am now ahead.
But
how much power did you feel like you had?
I felt like I owned the game.
Chaos.
I felt like I was the game at that point. Everything revolved around me, and I was a new world. So, but that's how you get into the guild going forward. You have to be part of a snake crawl, not a bar crawl or anything like that. It's a snake crawl.
I mean, I prefer the bar crawl.
I mean,
Why not both?
Why not start with the bar crawl, and that's why you are now doing a snake crawl.
You see where I was going with that. I mean, I could tell that maybe if I come across the US and all us guys meet up, I can see that happening. Like, I know what we're gonna do. To get to the next part. We need to do the snake dance.
So
all these random people joining.
I imagine it now. 40 people slithering on the ground.
We definitely would make the news.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
It'd be just really confusing as to what was
Either
happening.
that or like a cop car pulls up and goes, "Right, you're all under
Right.
What are you doing?" It's like, "Snake crawl! What are you doing?"
handcuffs." Oh, okay.
So on to other stuff, not game related. We always promise we'll do nerd geeky talk with you guys, whether it's Star Wars, superheroes, whatever's going on, and game-esque related stuff.
What have you got for us this week?
Witcher Season 2 was officially announced for this year.
Mm-hmm.
It was pushed back, and now it's been brought back. And I cannot wait for this. It was originally pushed back because I believe Henry hurt himself doing his own stunts. And it was just an action role that he hurt himself on, by the way, guys. Nothing
Oh.
Tom Cruise style, just action roll.
Fail.
So they were
I'm trying to
like,
do
he
the
was
stick
like,
dance.
they're like, we can't film anything, and luckily there's some scenes where he's just sitting down, relaxed, and they just went ahead and filmed that stuff. So it brought everything back to where it was going. And yes, Legend, COVID really hampered that because Henry was like, everybody either has to wear a mask or has to be 6 feet apart. Majority of that stuff could not be filmed in either of those conditions, so they had to put a pin in it. Ant, what is going on? You're just like, you pulled a triangle where you just froze.
I am like setting everything up, so I'm like game time focused, and in the back of my head, I'm like really fucking hungry. So then I'm trying to think what I have in my freezer too. So everything's just like coming out from my face right
His
now.
brain is working in overtime. He's like,
Oh yes. So that's really exciting. Resident Evil, if you guys have not seen whatever they titled the most recent anime/cartoon that came out on Netflix, it's 4 episodes long at 35 minutes each. Highly recommend that. Finished it day that it came out, actually.
what is it?
Resident Evil. Let's see here.
Oh, okay.
Infinite Darkness is what it's called, but it is on
Okay.
Netflix. 4
haven't seen it
episodes
yet.
long. It combines Resident Evil. I think it's 5 when they're out in South America. I think. Where basically it was like sort of loosely based on the Fallujah War that we were in. Loosely based on that. They also combined it with the Umbrella sub game where it takes place specifically in the submarine. And then a little bit of 6, which, as you guys saw me playing recently, where Leon has to kill the president, so the United States goes into a big turmoil because the president died. And it's loosely based on that as well. So it is a very, very good one. It left off on a super cliffhanger, so hopefully there's more on that.
RE is wild.
But do what?
RE is wild, I said.
I
Did
just
you,
learned that I don't know shit about Resident Evil.
I saw your face. It's like the president died. You're like,
Triangle
hold
Man.
up.
Yeah.
Yes. You mean the zombie game, right?
Yes, the zombie game.
Where they walk around? No, they run now.
They run.
They run.
They now.
And they're when you shoot their head off, they turn into big plants now. It's like,
Yes.
Awesome.
huh. Well, the last one I just played had vampires and werewolves, so man, times have changed for zombie games.
Yeah,
Alright,
seriously.
I'm gonna go eat and then get ready for everything, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. I'm like
Absolutely,
literally
man.
starving. So
So we'll see you in about 45 minutes.
yeah, Kyle, I think you're probably gonna join me a little earlier, right?
Yeah, I'll be leaving here at noon to get prepared.
Cool.
All right, love you guys.
See you
Love
in
to,
a little
buddy.
bit,
See you
dude.
in a bit.
Peace.
Bye.
He did it the right way. It's this way.
Yeah, not this.
Yes.
I'm gonna fly over there, Kyle, and fish slap you in a minute.
Good luck. They won't let you in.
Fuck.
They don't let
They
anybody in.
They
They'll
will.
let him in. He's a nurse.
Sorry, beginning of September,
Oh.
you can.
That's
He can get in on government.
Oh, I can get in.
I don't know what's going on over here. At the beginning of August, they're allowing fully vaccinated Americans in, but we can't go over. And then at the beginning of September, they're letting everybody in that's fully vaccinated, but we can't go anywhere. It's just like, what are we doing at this point? Like,
I
figure it
just
out.
live here. Figure it out.
I give him the letter, Kenny. Just figure it out.
There it is.
figure it out.
The next thing is no spoilers here, so don't have to tune out. Bad Batch. If you guys have not been keeping up with that for Star Wars on Disney Plus, you guys are super missing out. This void of episode 3 and 4 that needed to be filled is being perfectly filled right now.
Too many
To
shows.
its C.
Yeah, there
Super
are too many.
good. On the topic of Star Wars, Kyle, you need to hurry
Hello
up
there.
and hello there. You need to hurry up and finish Fallen Order.
Yeah, my last Fallen Order game night wasn't probably wasn't the best idea to drink and play that game at the
Oh,
same
no,
time.
that is not a good idea. Puzzles were not your friend probably in that one. Nor
No, I was
was the combat.
No, I was stuck in the same world, and losing my mind and calling stuff Big Chungus.
That's me completely sober. When I play any game, I have like a quote machine, and I think 90% of them is like, "Look at that big boy. What are these boys doing here?" Like, dumb stuff.
I was like calling giant spider Charlotte's Web too. I'm just not gonna play this game this drunk. I'll have a drink, but not like after 5.
Please tell me you have clips of this, right?
I think there's 1 or 2 on my channel.
Good, because we might need to go back and watch this video, get some clips, put them in a montage for the next Rise and Grind.
Yes.
Coffee says, waiting to sesh it out when the full season of Bad Batch is out. Wasn't feeling them in Clone Wars much, so I don't know what to expect. In Clone Wars, I'll give it to you. They were a little like, they don't belong here. But they perfectly fit the reasoning as to why clone troopers were no longer accepted in the Empire Army. I'll leave it at that. Like,
I mean, the next 6 months, we're getting 2 other shows that I'm really hyped for, in the
Oh,
Boba
yeah.
Fett one and Obi-Wan with Ewan McGregor next year, so I can't wait for that.
Right. Yeah, they pushed back Mandalorian because whatever his face
Lot of
always
reasons.
I forgot his main name, but he started to side with the chick that they removed off the cast, and they're like, "Well, we can't replace this guy, like, because he is Mando," which arguably that other chick was whatever that character was.
Yeah.
Like,
To be fair,
to be fair,
they can, just he won't be able to remove his helmet anymore.
right?
Yeah, they could.
And then Obi-Wan is like a nerd show come true. Like, it just
Right.
to be
What happened on Tatooine
Yeah.
between then and then until you met Luke when he was in his late teens and you went, "Hello there." Like, what happened in between there?
Well, I do know him. He's me. Like, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
What?
last time we
know
saw
a
you,
little
you
bit.
left Anakin turn into a hot pocket, and now we're over here. So,
Cartoon wise, we do know a little bit. Right?
we know a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna play off that.
What happens on Tatooine stays on Tatooine.
So
Yeah.
I do hope they include stuff, like, because Clone Wars was dubbed canon,
Yeah.
and they did find like Sith holocrons of Malik, Revan, Bane, all these super Siths, and they're like, yes, we're acknowledging these people. And so I hope, because Qui-Gon's in this, and he walked a fine balance of both light side and dark side.
And Darth Maul survived, so I wonder if we're.
He does not survive. This takes place after that. That
Oh.
part is confirmed, because that was the biggest thing.
Okay.
Because they were like, we're going to see Darth Maul in live action again, and then they were like, nah, he's dead. Like, this takes place after that, because that was the first. Like, when they announced that, that was about the time that they were officially killing Darth Maul off.
Okay.
Because if you remember when they were doing that, Darth Maul knew that Obi-Wan was watching Luke, but you never
Yeah.
saw Luke in the show.
Okay.
So
I was
that's
wondering when they were gonna start. Like, are they gonna start like right at the end of episode 3, or is this gonna be like
right.
5 years down the line?
So
you know?
it does take place. So Maul located Luke as, I think, a young child, if I remember right. So he didn't reach the point where he was young adult. He was still, I think, like between 7 and 10 is when Maul
Okay.
actually located him. So it does take place after that. So Luke is going to be a teenager
Okay.
if we follow this order that's happening here.
Which
But-
makes sense. Ewan's like a lot more older now than
Mhm.
he was in episode
Um,
3, so that would
And
help. I know
we
there's makeup, but
also may have a spoiler of Cassius. Cassius is the name of the guy in Fallen Order, right? I don't remember his name. I think it is Cassius.
yeah.
Cassius, something like that. Anyway,
I might not remember again.
the guy, he played Gotham's take on Joker, and he has also
Okay.
been seen on set of Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Which means this guy
Wait.
is a Jedi, so he may be on the show. Whether he got, like, because developers like to leak this type of stuff, and they're never actually on the show. They're just there as a VIP. It's like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like I did this way back when. But it would be really cool to see him on set.
Hayden Christensen's confirmed, isn't he?
Yeah,
just for
he
flashbacks,
for sure.
I think they're doing
flashbacks, and they're actually going to have him play Vader now.
Oh.
So they are replacing. I think he's what, the fourth or I think he's the fourth Vader now, iteration of Vader. Yeah. But he matches the height, and he's perfected the voice now through the modulator.
Really?
So
good for him.
Cool.
We may see him in future Star Wars movies, because they, Filoni and everybody else has been saying we want more Star Wars based on my universe. And we're like, yes, we don't want Kathleen's universe anymore, please. Goodbye, thanks.
I just feel like Kenobi is going to have a lot more hype, I think, than when Mandalorian first was announced.
Oh, for sure.
He's going to have it.
And Ahsoka's. And Ahsoka's show.
Yeah.
Because Ahsoka is arguably almost as famous as Yoda and Vader.
Right. Well, I thought it was Ahsoka during that one scene, and I'm not going to spoil it, in the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian. You know, when the person, I'm like, okay, I think that's Ahsoka. I didn't think it was who it ended up being.
Who it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And there is rumor that what's his face from Rebels, Ezra, is that his name? Ezra.
Yeah.
Is also making it into the big screen now as well.
Ooh.
Where it is, he's going to be making it in on Ahsoka's premiere. Because if you guys remember, it's been plenty of time, so spoilers alert here, but it has been plenty of time from this. Ezra warps himself with what's the chiss's name? Thrawn at the end of Rebels. So Thrawn also has been confirmed because of Mandalorian.
There's a new book that recently
there's a new book.
Okay.
He was also reported, or actually mentioned in Mandalorian season 2 by Ahsoka.
Yep.
So he has officially made his way canonically. Rebels is also canon, by the way, but he has made it to the big screen now, and he's supposed to appear in Ahsoka's show as well. And so you'll love this one here, Legend. Revan is also supposed to be making a big screen appearance here soon too. Hasn't been confirmed on what show he's popping in on, whether it's a flashback. My guess would be the Obi-Wan show.
I love the fan-made films with him.
Oh
I
yeah.
go on YouTube sometimes and I search up the Star Wars made fan films, like the one with Obi-Wan and Luke as a kid. That fan one, that was really good, even though it wasn't the original. That one was really well done.
My favorite is the Darth Maul one that they did, fan-made. Like that was super crisp, so good. So we have that with Star Wars. Without spoilers, for the Marvel universe, there's a bunch of stuff happening, especially after Loki. So far, if you guys have seen any memes that shows like WandaVision and Loki, like they've messed up the timeline, and you have Doctor Strange coming home or whatnot as the dad or whatever, is a perfect representation of everything that has just happened in Marvel right now. All of the timelines are just completely screwed up now, which leads way to Spider-Man's movie where he can absolutely be multiple Spider-Mans. Basically, the multiverse is a thing now.
Right, the multiverse has now become a thing.
Yes. And because of this, the bad guy that was ultimately revealed at the end of Loki is, I won't reveal who it is, but he is in Fantastic Four's universe. So that would also explain why the emblem for the next phase of Marvel is a big ass 4 that looks just like Fantastic Four's. Abomination was also seen in the Shang-Chi movie or whatever that's coming out, which also brings, and it's the Universal's version of Abomination, by the way, which brings maybe the Hulk into the movie at some point, because you can see Abomination fighting him in a pit fight, basically, which is super cool.
So if they're including the Fantastic Four, which ones are they including? Because I know there's the 2 versions, right?
So they're going to be playing off of the one, ironically, that what's his face?
Yes, Jessica Alba or not Jessica Alba?
I don't remember which one she was in, honestly. I remember the one that Chris Evans was Human Torch.
Yeah, that was the same one.
Okay, so they're thinking about bringing back those people.
Okay.
Obviously, Chris Evans can't be the Torch. he's already Captain America. Well, was Captain America.
Could be. It would
We'd be surprised.
Yeah.
That could play into the multiverse thing where he comes back as the Human Torch. It's like, weren't you Captain America? It's like, who's that? Like, maybe he doesn't exist in this universe or something. I think that would be pretty funny.
That would be crazy. That would be hilarious.
I really hope when the since we have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and what's his face? I always forget the newest Spider-Man's name.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tom Holland?
Yes, Tom Holland, thank you. I really hope we have the Spider-Man meme. Like, it better play out in the movie where they're all pointing to each other. Like, if this doesn't happen, whether I'm in the theater or in my living room, I'm going to get up and walk away. Doesn't matter.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do that because they already did it in Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's true. They did do that, yeah.
They could do it and then just have Deadpool just like sneakily just be like.
And Miles Morales is supposed to make it into the Spider-Man movie also.
That's awesome.
Oh.
So that's Sony's way of hopefully leading Spider-Man into Mobius's movie. As well as Venom 2 with Carnage.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
Kraven the Hunter has also gotten his own movie announced.
Cool.
So that would be really cool to see. I don't know why they're choosing to if they choose to use Miles Morales for these people, because his version of those supervillains don't look like that. Those are
right. They look very different.
Yeah, those are like the futuristic, crazy cool stuff. There is talks about Agent Venom getting a movie, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with Agent Venom. He uses guns, like big ass submachine guns.
Okay. I think I remember.
And he's also been part of the Guardians of the Galaxy as Agent Venom. So
Venom has guns now.
Yeah.
Good.
Why eat people when you can shoot people?
Is it a darkness situation? Is it like a The Darkness situation where he also has Venom powers?
Yeah, that was a good game, by the way. The Darkness was a really good game.
That is an amazing game. Everyone should play it. The Darkness, very good.
Yes.
You mean we're not getting Venom from Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire?
Oh, please no. That Venom can just jump off a building and Venom could leave him.
We have the two Venoms pointing at each other.
You forget about it.
And the real one eats the other one?
Yeah.
Venoms.
Yeah.
With Deadpool in the middle.
Yes.
Have you guys seen the commercial with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and Tahiti like roasting Ryan Reynolds' new movie?
Yeah.
Hey, interrupt you real quick. Sorry, Penny. Can we bring in Ferg real quick?
Yeah, absolutely can bring Ferg in.
All right,
Fergant. I like to call him Fergant. Fergant. And this Venom, so far, to my knowledge, Venom 2, has yet to hit a rating.
Really?
Because Carnage is in this, and I feel like Carnage is like Deadpool. Like, you can't have him without a rated R.
Yeah.
Because Carnage literally hacks people apart and then uses them to make more symbiotes.
Carnage. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah.
That's played by a new one.
Mel Gibson.
Or not. I know somebody's going to be in it. Though.
Woody Harrelson is the guy
That's
playing. I was like, no, close, but no.
No, he's going to be in it. That's what I mean.
But yeah, and I think because of that commercial with Deadpool was a nice way of low-key introducing Deadpool into the MCU. Because he sat down with somebody who was known to be in the MCU. So, what's up, Ferg?
Oh,
again.
Are you on lunch break?
I'm on dinner break. Yeah.
Perfect. A man joining
Oh,
Rise
no
and Grind
way.
on his lunch.
I'm looking at the cast for Carnage. I didn't know that their Jameson's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
And then there's
That's
Kyle
not the actor's
scooping
name.
up when they like walk around.
But J.K. Simmons.
Brolin.
Picture of the
Stop trolling, Asylum. No.
I want the picture of the Spider-Man.
I can't help it. It's just too easy.
But I think it
Hello,
was,
Fergent. Hi.
Hello.
Where are you?
he's at work.
I'm in work.
Oh,
In a
okay.
smoking shelter.
I just want to say, like, what are you inside?
What's
What
happening?
building is this? Yeah.
Looks like
He's in
a
a-
greenhouse
he's
almost.
He's actually in a cage.
It's,
This is my living room,
this
guys?
Is the bingo hall. This is the smokers area that I'm hiding in.
Ah, okay.
This
Looks
is my
like a
living
bus
room.
stop.
Yeah.
You gotta head out, Kyle?
Oh yeah, it's 12:02. Shoot, I lost track of time.
I got you, buddy.
I
got
thank
you.
you. I'll be see you guys later.
So-
I'll be on Ant stream. So
You'll see Kyle in about 30 minutes on Ant Stream. So
bye bye.
later.
Bye.
Have a wonderful time.
I think Hideaway also said that she is potentially available
Do what now?
a little bit. I think. Yeah.
What did you say?
She said that she is can join as well.
Who did?
She's about to finish Hideaway.
Oh, okay. You kept cutting out. I kept hearing like bit, and I was like, "Who's bit?"
I mumbled real hard. Hideaway. She said she could be on in a bit.
Okay.
Sorry, I need to use my words.
Use your teacher voice.
No, you don't want that.
Oh, please do it once. Give Penny a trouble just once.
I,
Please.
I can't. I get like that. So
Please.
I serious. Like I'm not kidding. So I mean, you know, Foon and I sit basically back to back. I have to use like the loud voice when I'm like talking at him to the people on his stream, because like if I talk normally, you can't really hear me. He has enough noise gate on. But if I like project, it's not even yelling. It's projecting. I can be heard.
You're
and
known.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean-
pretty much always.
I mean, please
Heard.
project to Penny. It would be hilarious.
I like how Ferg's just pulling out alpha and walking around.
My noise cut it off, to be honest. No, it's really like honestly, the teacher voice is really just my voice, but slightly louder, and like you can imagine that it's just slightly louder.
I like to call it the Bill Burr voice, where it's not yelling, it's just loud speaking.
And like, I feel bad because my students know, like they're so funny because like they know I'm not yelling at them. I'm just very loud. And we're all aware of this fact. And I think I've brought it up at least once or twice with my fourth graders. Because I have to like teach kids choir stuff in like a giant gymnasium. And I had to do it this year outside for
Ooh.
the graduation. So I was like, you guys can hear me, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, you know I am a loud individual. Like, I know you can hear me back there. You can't tell me, like, you can't lie to me and say, oh, I didn't hear you. Yes, you did. They're like, yeah, okay, fair enough. Like,
That's what I thought.
you heard.
Kid.
You heard me. Well, and I have to, so I don't know if there's anyone else out there who like has kids or teaches children. I'm so bad. I like teacher kids in public when I'm on summer break. Like if I see a kid being a little snot, running around doing something they're not supposed to do, I'm at my dinner table like,
I see you. I'll trip you.
or no,
Don't
not
do it.
even. I just need to
Don't do
look
it.
at them. I like, it's one of those things that's just automatic. I see a kid misbehaving and I'm just like,
Or it's just like you're,
Like,
you're
"Look."
literally you're literally
They know.
sitting there and they're still doing it, and you're like,
Yep.
yeets to play.
oh, I don't even need to. I just like, just clear my throat a little and they're like,
Mean mug 'em? That's what I call it. Mean mug.
it's the face. It's the teacher/parent face. I don't know if anyone has that. Like it's like an aura. Kids know too. Like if I see a kid misbehaving, I just like I go into like hardcore teacher mode, and I try not to do it too because I'm like, I am not on the clock. I do not need to tell these kids what to do. Their parents can yell at them all they want. It's not my job. But like, it's my job.
As a society member.
Yes, we do live in a society.
It is your job to do it.
Yeah.
Perfectly relatable and understandable.
I can't.
So, I want to let Ferg take the helm here. My man just recently came out with his own brand of merch, and it looks so crisp. It is so good, dude. Tell us about it, man.
I don't know what that is. It's loosely stream inspired, but it's the overarching theme is pretty much like it's all sort of pop punk design inspired.
Band T style, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
I said Band T style, right?
Yeah. It's like it's all sort of band tees. I mean, I'm not wearing one right now. This is just a fucking Hooch t-shirt I got in my old job. But it's like, you know, the really nice crisp like white designs on the front with like the sort of blown up graphic on the back. That's sort of the sort of theme I'm going for. The FGNT stuff I've got out right now, the embroidered wheel on the chest, that's going to be a limited edition stuff. I'm aiming to get to a point once I hope this new job comes through. Start releasing new designs sort of monthly and keep everything sort of limited, so it's not like, oh, you can buy it now and then like someone else can get it in 6 months time. Like everything is going to be time based, except from like the sort of the rum drinker ship sinker stuff. I'm going to keep that on there I'm going to keep that on there regularly, but a lot of the stuff, like I'm trying to get to a point where I'm like releasing a new design every month, just so that there's a bit of exclusive. Yeah, I can't talk. Exclusivity with it. And like I say, everything's like band sort of tee designed, but it's all inspired from that. So I'm getting a text.
I think it looks really cool. It's like it's super crisp. It looks professional. It looks really good.
Oh yeah, man! I've spent so long working on this. Like I took time off of streaming to like focus on this in between work. On top of like doing fucking graphics for the lounge and doing everything else I've been doing.
You do phenomenal graphics for the lounge too, by the way. Yes. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I have no qualifications in graphic design. I started making graphics in like February, I think it was. Started making my own graphics, and I've just sort of been trying to go up from there. And the whole point behind the t-shirts was like I buy those sort of t-shirts that shows. I pay like 20 quid for them, and I want to be able to make stuff that like I would wear, and I think I've done pretty well in like making stuff that, you know, I look at that and I'm like, I would wear that, and that's sort of my selling point. It's like I'm not selling anything that I wouldn't wear myself.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Like I think that with merch in general, just like selling stuff that you would wear. I'm trying to be like
very genuine with it. It's not like, I'm just pumping out clothes for the sake of trying to make a quick buck.
Right.
Like I want to make the stuff that I personally would wear and that I would want to show off to people.
Exactly, that makes total sense.
And are those available through the Fergant.com?
Fergant.com, yes, I have my own website now as well.
So
may I post that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say if Triangle's like, I already got it, man. I've been here 5 minutes looking at this shit.
I know.
I was listening to you. I'm like, let me creep on that Twitter.
But yeah, it looks really, really nice.
Yes.
And that is stuff that you can only find through his stuff. This is not anything lounge related or whatnot. And it looks professional. It looks like something you would pick up in a store. It looks really good, man.
Thank you, man. However, when you say that, there is, remember, an exclusive.
Well, there is one that you can find through us. Yes.
You can get on the lounge. I made that last week specifically for the lounge store. And that's the only place that you can get that. I'm not going to be selling that on my own store in any capacity.
And that shirt looks really good too, by the way. And,
thank you, man. Thank you.
We've also
nice stuff coming out.
It looks nice. With the exception of, I think, 2 shirts on our channel, we've also converted majority of our stuff to breast pocket on the Left side.
Left
I
side.
forgot my directions. It's like, what?
It's okay. I also forget them all the time. The
It's
good
like-
thing is you're also mirrored. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's
Just
true.
gesture one of those
See,
directions.
that's
People
still
will-
really confusing because on my stream it looks nothing like what Asylum sent me. Like on my stream it looks like I sent him a screenshot of the stream for me, and it looks like
exactly the same.
It's weird.
The
Oh, mine
picture
looks
he
good.
sent me is the one that is on Discord at the minute.
Like on
The
my
picture I
for
sent
my
him is
stream,
it's completely mirror image for all of us.
and it's
Yeah.
so weird. I don't know how that happened.
Mirrored on here.
So
Videos. are weird.
we've moved all of our merch to breast pocket sizes. You can only find the new Robo Wolfie blown up on. I think there's one blown up on the front, and then there's one that's on the back that says that has Robo Wolf on the back, and then it just says Game Lounge in the front.
That Robo Wolf is super cool.
So Infinity 13 Gaming is the one who made our new logo and our new banner and stuff. So hats off to him. He did a phenomenal job on that.
Oh yeah, those are
Yeah,
really
it's
cool.
killer.
So he has more stuff coming out for the shop. We also are looking into making a company logo here soon. So we're not going to be using Robo Wolfie for the company logo. It's going to become almost like an esports looking logo. So very, very clean, very crisp, very simple, easily recognizable on a billboard or a building from far away, where you can just see it and be like, that's the lounge, and immediately know that's the lounge. Because you look at esport team logos now, for those people who, keep up with esports, will easily identify these logos, like Cloud9 or anything like that. You see that
I was
blue,
about
that
to say
blue.
Cloud9 is super iconic.
Yeah, you see that blue infinity symbol with a 9 on the top, you would immediately know who that is. Or you Sea of Thieves or any of these people, you see their logos, you know who they are. So we are creeping up on the point of hitting that point. So soon.
No timeline, guys. No timeline.
Yeah, no timeline on this. Just soon.
Soon.
And
just
yes,
like game developers do, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, like like Elder Scrolls soon.
Yeah. For GTA 6, and it'll be coming out soon.
Yeah.
Wonder what'll come out first, Half-Life 3 or this new logo?
Yeah, so we can compare it to Half-Life 3. So
Oh no.
Eventually.
Kind of soon.
Yeah, eventually.
Touch and go, touch and go.
Well, that kind of soon is never. So.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that. But hopefully soon it will make its way.
It's a thought, maybe. It's materializing slowly.
Yes. And we have 15 minutes before we go over to Ant's channel. I want to pass it over to Hideaway. She ran the Among Us last night with Rich and Zero, and I had a blast watching you guys. That was our super stream Among Us, and it was absolutely hilarious. Asylum modded. I think when I caught it was Rich's chat. I don't know if you modded other chats, but thank you for doing that also.
I modded the whole thing.
Oh, did you? Perfect.
Did,
all right,
yeah.
bye, Ferg.
Okay, bye.
Welcome back, beautiful. So thank you so much for hosting
I
that.
got on mute and ended the call.
You did a phenomenal job. If you guys did not catch it, it's on their VODs, I would imagine. And it was absolutely hilarious to watch you guys play that.
I can throw up a.
No, I know which one.
Hang on, just before you start, because it was that funny. That is one of the clips that's there. But I was gonna throw up Rich's clip.
Oh, as long as it's not my one where it was
No.
questionable.
That's questionable. That's not for Rise and Grind.
Okay.
I might throw up Rich's clip if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sweet. Let me go find it.
Yeah, last night was so much fun. Like honestly, like I have no voice because we played hide and seek, which is a special mod. and we had to chase each other. So you know who the killer is, and you're sped up, and you have to like try and do your task before the killer gets you. And there was a lot of screaming because you're allowed to speak to each other.
There was. I actually had to turn the volume down for all of the streams that I watched.
It was funny though.
It was funny. We did our special egg round all for Penny. Actually, we did 2 egg rounds.
We did 2.
Yeah.
Wit actually sent a picture of it. And she's like, "They're doing an egg round just for you," and I was like, "Thanks, I hate it." But that was really fun to watch. We do that once a month, and it is on a rotating host, so you guys can always pop in. They do announcement of when it's going, as well as sign-up sheets for that type of stuff. I know Ferg also is doing a music one soon.
Yes.
So
I think that the next one is the Black Parade is dead.
Yes.
What's that about?
It's there was the last show of the Black Parade era of My Chemical Romance. They done a big show in Mexico City, and they basically like set all of their stage decorations and shit on fire by the end of the show. That was the end of that era, the end of that album. And the Mexico City show was like the last one that they ever done. They've never gone back to it, and I don't think they're ever going to.
It's completely gone. Because they did Danger Days after that, didn't they? And had a whole new... Yeah.
So, that's hosted in the Lounge's Discord. You guys can always join in. We do announcements on our Twitter at Our Game Lounge, or any one of these fine people on the panel usually retweet that stuff and announce it plenty of times so you can mark it on your calendars to attend it.
Bring your grand.
Bring your grand? Is that what you said?
Yep, bring your grand, bring your mo.
To the Black Parade, you don't.
Yeah, right?
But there will be an announcement coming later for Friday's event, Winter Asylum. 7 Days to Die on Friday.
Friday's event. Oh yeah, 7 Days to Die. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome back, Triangle.
Sorry about that. I had a call come in.
Oh no, you're fine.
Oh.
But yeah, so we have a bunch of events that are popping in. We have new departments. So all of our stream team are now in. Let me go look at the list so I don't get it chopped up. We have content creation, events, graphic design, and marketing. So all of our members are officially categorized into teams, and they work on content to give to you guys on various time spans, sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly events, or announcements, or coming up soon giveaways. We have a opposite version of our Rise and Grind that will be recorded and launched through Patreon, called Lounge Time. We don't have any filters. We drink, we cut up, we sing karaoke, we do a little bit of everything. It originated from my party time, from where you may see me in the Discord, where I'm just literally playing YouTube videos and drinking and just having a good time. People pop in and hear me karaoke horribly.
Man, if you want a sneak preview of Penny karaoke, I'm sure we can get to do it now.
Oh, not now.
Do the dance. The dance that haunts me.
Do the dance.
Dylan Francis dance? No.
Yeah.
That's a dance that Wit thoroughly enjoys doing.
Wit's behind you, so could you do it for Wit and then we just see it, you do it for her?
I can't see her, so it's not going to count. But it's a blast. It will be pre-recorded and launched through a subscription to that, along with various other content, of course. But this way, that stuff can help fund our new website that we actually do have coming up. I mentioned earlier in the stream. Paladin, once he gets time, of course, all things set aside, is going to be helping with this. Triangle brought it up a couple of times, and I decided it's worth revisiting and getting it together. You can see schedules of our stream team. You can meet the stream team with bios that are going to be coming out, blurbs, videos, merch is directly linked to it, and various other content will be posted to this. So it's really exciting. It's a very big project that may be seen in various steps where the domain will go up. Our Game Lounge is the domain, so it will go up. And you'll be able to see us building it step by step. So it will be a content creation that you as viewers can follow us through. So I think that's really exciting. You'll be able to see steps along the way, what's happening, where it's going, and the future for that type of stuff. So we have a bunch of stuff that's in the pipeline, whether it's, working, not working. It's Stream Dream, I guess. So it will be super exciting. So I can't wait to share that with everybody. Is Ant started up his stream yet?
He has just started up, yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah, literally.
Alrighty. We'll go ahead and pass you guys over to him. That way I can go eat some food. Wit's cooking something and it smells delicious. And I don't think she's cooking for me, so it's even more torture. So, but I will be on watching Ant stream. I will be on playing some video games. So we can tab Ant, listen to Ant, help him out. And as always, play games as well in the Discord.
I mean, Battlefield?
Battlefield's an option. I'll have to download it, but so I
The new
appreciate.
Verdun game?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just done that to push a button.
So, thank you, panelists, for joining in. Starting here, make sure it looks the same on the Discord. Starting here in the top left, we have Angry Tuttle. We have Ferg in the middle. We have Hideaway in the top right. We have Asylum in the bottom left. We have Triangle Mans in the middle. And then me, your host, Penny GL. This has been a Rise and Grind podcast hosted by Game Lounge. You can follow us on Twitter at Our Game Lounge. All of these people here on the panels, you can also follow. We have them all listed and linked on Our Game Lounge Twitter. So you can click our little link tree post in there, and it will follow people here on the panel as well as people that you did not see on the panel that are part of the stream team. And you can always follow them on Twitch the same way. You can also follow us through the Facebook, which is found through that as well. We have a bunch of resources for you guys, new streamers, old streamers. We can help you out. Everybody on the team is very knowledgeable on what's going on. At least we pretend to be to some degree also. So if we can fool you, we can make it. That's what matters.
You can just do the IT thing, unplug it and put it back in.
Yeah. I failed miserably, and that's what I do for a living. So.
Same!
But again, guys, thank you all so much. This has been a Rise and Grind. You can almost say capture us. Ooh. You can
please capture me. I don't want to go back to work.
You'll need a master ball for me, I'm afraid.
Ooh. We have Rise and Grinds I wouldn't say every Saturday. Majority of the Saturdays in the month, myself or a moderator or a stream captain will be hosting them. And we let you know on Twitter where you can find us at. So again, thank you guys so much for joining in. It's been a blast. I had fun talking tech, nerd, geek, game, all the above with you guys. And I'm going to pass you guys on to Ant. So help him support one of our stream team members, Paladin. Deserves everything under the sun, like I said earlier. And I will catch you all later. Bye.